But I think the development of full artificial intelligence would spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
With the rockets or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. They were too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1 0 1 1 0 1 1 6 3 2
Media doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness.
Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here with your co-host, Frank Pierce. And we would like to say hello to all of you who might also have troubled minds. What's up, guys? It is Thursday night. This show is live if you want to be part of the show tonight. The number to call is 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can join the Discord, and you can find both the phone number and the Discord link on troubledminds.org. That's the official website. And here we are again, talking about all the things we're not supposed to talk about, which, of course, if you're not new, you know what that is. It's the government. It's the technocracy. It's major corporations. It's academia. It's a 24-hour news cycle. It's propaganda. Those are the things we're talking about. The things that if you put them up on YouTube, you get taken down. Those are the things we're talking about. So if you are new, that's what's up, and we're gonna get into a bunch of that tonight. So stick around. And again, so this is a participation. This is a participation show. So if you guys have links or you guys have comments on this stuff, type it in the chat. If you have comments and you have to get on the show, and maybe we missed something, or you want to say hi, give us show feedback, do call us, because we will put you on the show. We don't screen callers, and get on here and tell us what's up. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're going to do tonight. And we've got a grab bag mix of topics. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And yeah, all right. So we'll do shout outs in a sec. So if you want to shout out, just type in chat. Hello from, let's say, Salt Lake City, or somebody type that. So type where you're from, and we'll give you a shout out from Las Vegas, which is where we're streaming from. And there we go. There we go. We are on tonight and ready to rock. Are you ready for your intro, Franklin?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, your co-host, Frank Pierce.
Hello, my name is Frank Pierce, and we are back again for hopefully another exciting show. A grab bag of topics today. We've got global warming. We've got cryptid creatures. We've got UFOs. Of course, we've got the UFOs. They're flying all over the place nowadays, aren't they? Oh, so many UFOs left and right. What else have we got in here? We got some viewer-submitted links, one of which I've unfortunately debunked, so stay tuned for that. So many topics. If you have stuff you want to talk about, if you have news stories that are of interest to you and you want our opinions, I don't know why you would, but if you do, please do join the Discord. Paste those links in there and we'll pull them up. Yeah, a mix of topics today. The news keeps coming, fast and furious. And if you're looking at the things they want you to look at, you miss everything else. And I think we all know what that is, right? The Iran situation, all of that, it's been dominating the news, but so much stuff behind the scenes has been going on. So we're going to take a peek at that and see what the world has to offer. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it.
All right, let's do it. We got shout-outs, though, first. Okay, so we are back. So we did a little experiment. We wanted to try Twitch on a special Tuesday show there. And so we had some folks show up, and it was a good show, I think. It was probably one of our better shows because, of course, we leaned on the great Art Bell and Coast to Coast. So very, very good stuff. If you guys didn't see it, it is on Twitch. We did upload it to YouTube, and it got instantly whacked because, like we talked about, how do they silence you? They use copyright laws to silence you. Like fair use is no longer a thing. They twist everything you say into hate speech so they can bring that down. You see, that's the way they censor us. It's these algorithms that are always at work 24/7. The technocracy, as we say. So anyway, if you want to check it out before it disappears forever, go ahead.
Pardon me for interrupting, but that really does get to me. So we put together a clip show about Mel's Hole, which was a famous guest, and you'll see that on our SoundCloud or iTunes later on, so you can check that out if you missed it. Special Tuesday show. But we clipped the show together. We added our own commentary. We did our own research. We put that in, tried to verify various details of the story. That entire thing, in my opinion, is fair use because we really dove in depth into it, analyzed the whole thing. And then YouTube comes along and says, get out of here. You can't put that up there. And they just block it in all countries. It's kind of ridiculous. How do you get this news out there if these massive corporations can just come and say, no, get out of here, too bad? And what can we do? Absolutely nothing. But it'll be out there on these platforms that still have a modicum of free speech. So check that out when you're able to.
There you go. And it will go up on the podcast feed as well. So if you guys are into the podcast, check it out. It will be on SoundCloud and all the other places, iTunes and all that. Okay, so shout-outs. It is scrolled so far, so I can't even do first. I think the official first was Carlos. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry. But I think Carlos gets first on Facebook. What's up? And then Timothy was a close second. Thanks, Timothy, again for Timothy was there on the Twitch stream, and he's tagging tons of people, so we appreciate that. Spreading the word is how the word gets out, so that is up to you guys. If you want to, you think we're doing an okay job and want to spread the word, hey, we appreciate that a lot. Okay, so then I'm going to start with Coriana. What's happening? OMG, I'm actually awake long enough tonight to catch the show. Well, thanks, Coriana. And then we got Joe. Hello from Spring, Texas. How you doing? Colin, thanks for being here. Joe, hello, Mike, and hello, Frankfurter. I guess we got a new intro here, or a new nickname for Frank. And Sean, what's up? Everybody's favorite Canuck. I don't know how to say. Canadian. Let's say Canadian. There we go. Who else? Let's see. Voices, thanks for being here. We got Whitey. Hi from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. More Canadians. Yes, more Canadians. We love the Canadians. Let's see. Jesse, what's happening from Canada? Whoa, we're being overrun by Canadians. Amazing. Carl from Missouri, what's happening? Thanks for being here. Justin from Michigan, how you doing? Interesting show on Tuesday, says Justin. Thank you for being there at the Twitch show. Definitely good stuff, I agree. Sam, hello. Ryan from Boise. Daniel from Los Angeles. Dale, what's happening? And Daniel from East Los Angeles, East LA. I was born in... Yeah, anyway. Okay, and we got, who else? Let's see, down the way. Eric from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. See? Look at it. Hey, look at this. People care, Frank. People care. James, we only know what they want us to know, and they want us to know that too. Okay, that's a good one. I like that. Yep. We are back on Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff. James adds, we are animals in a cage. I love it. Julie, what's up? Hello. Yes. Julie, hello from Australia. Hello from Las Vegas. Paul, hello from California. Hello, Sherry. Thanks for being here. We got, all right. Brian from Columbus, Ohio. Manuel from Phoenix with too many. You guys are amazing. Okay, so that's everybody. And here we go from on Mixer. Noble Kal-El gets first, of course, on the alternate chats. He's always the first there, hosting us on Mixer. So Noble Kal-El, thanks. That's our Superman. And we got Juan Carlos on YouTube. Eric, Hey. and yeah, there we go. Eric from Pittsburgh, and let's see who else. We got Luxor Sundragon, of course, on Twitch, and there we go. I think that catches us up. So if we missed you and you have to get on the show, well, call us 702-957-1037. Let's get into it, Frank. That was a little bit long because there's so many damn people here. That's amazing, right? That's amazing. So
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely good. Definitely good. What's up, Ash from Phoenix? How you doing, buddy? And there we go. All right. Let's do it, Frank. What do we got tonight?
Let's get into this first story. It's a bit of a fun story to think about. So open up sciencealert.com. There's a troubling link between believing conspiracy theories and petty crime. So what's going on here? We're conspiracy theorists, right? Would you call it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe. Because we debunk some things and try and look at things honestly. So I think you can say we're open to things or conspiracies. I wouldn't necessarily label us as like, your average conspiracy theorist, but okay.
I'm definitely a conspiracy theorist. And I think if any normal person out there would listen to the two of us and even read some of the comments in the chat there, they'd say everyone here is conspiracy theorists from the normal point of view. Anyway, that's pretty interesting because there's been this concerted effort over the past, I think, 1 year to demonize the whole thing. And here we go again. There's a link between believing conspiracy theories and petty crime, implying that if you're a conspiracy theorist, you're also a criminal, right? So they did research. They looked at people who believed in conspiracy theories and they linked their records, right? Could this happen in the UK? So they can do that kind of stuff, that invasion of privacy, linking their criminal records with their beliefs. And it appeared that 253 people were asked about their attitudes towards conspiracies in general, and they were linked to their petty crimes. So what do you think about this? Are conspiracy theorists petty criminals? Are you and I petty criminals? Are the audience petty criminals? What do you think about that?
No, F that. I don't break the law. So whatever. These people, this is what you call a multi-generational hit piece, is what this is. So it's a way to malign people. And again, right, we talked about this all the time. If you can put somebody in a box and make people believe they are that thing that you want to label, then you've defeated them, right? And just like Alex Jones, he's a conspiracy theorist, right? Because he talks about uncomfortable things that people should think about, I think they should think about anyway. Whether they're right, wrong, or indifferent, it makes you think. It starts the conversation. And if it's hogwash, fine, right? We've talked about tons of hogwash on this show, but there are some compelling things we've talked about that might make you raise an eyebrow or two. So, yeah, I mean, that's what this is. To me, this is just another hit piece. This is just another way, maybe a CIA psyop. I have no idea. And one more quick shout. I missed him. Philip, my man. I'm sorry. I missed you. All right. So who could forget Philip? Okay. So, but it's that's what it is to me. That's what this is. I think it's, back to, even on our website there on the main site, we have a link to the CIA psyop of, how they invented the conspiracy theory, the term, right? Because it was not really a term that was, maybe educational or to explain or describe something. It was to malign people. And here we go. I'm doing more of this in the modern time.
Actually, I have a completely different take on this, and I agree with this article. I think conspiracy theorists are petty criminals. Because think about it. I'm going to jaywalk. I don't care if there's no one in the street, no cars coming by. I will jaywalk. That's a petty crime. If I'm in the middle of the woods, there's this stop sign. I live in the middle of the woods, by the way. There's this stop sign nearby. I'm in the middle of the road. No one's coming. I'm going to drive through that stop sign if I'm coming home late at night. I will, because that's what you do in the country. You don't follow the rules precisely. You think for yourself, and you know when things are okay and know when things aren't okay. And there's all these petty crimes that, I'm not talking about stealing. I'm not talking about murder. I'm not talking about any of that. But these little inconsistencies that, they matter sometimes in big cities, and they don't matter at all in other cases. I'm a free thinker. I'll think for myself. And if it's 2 a.m. and there's no cars on the road, I'm rolling through that stop sign, no problem. So this kind of thing, I kind of agree with it, because the non-conspiracy theorists, they're the conformists. They're the sheep that follow the rules to the T, whereas the people who think for themselves realize that sometimes those rules aren't important. That's my take on this anyway, and I could be wrong. What do you think about that?
No, come on. I mean, if you're talking about jaywalking and rolling through the stop sign when, it's late at night and nobody's around, is that really crime? You know what I mean? Like, if you want to be a stickler, sure, you call it crime. That's not crime. That's silly. Right? That's silly. everybody's going to do that. And if you literally take crime down to that level, everybody's a criminal. And I don't think that's the case. So no, we can disagree on this one. I do stop at stop signs in the middle of the night. So there you go. But I don't. Yeah, whatever. Again, we can disagree. A couple more shout outs.
Again, that's.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Pardon me. That's the definition of petty crime. Not like stealing a car in Grand Theft Auto, not like murdering someone, not like raping someone. Petty crimes, simple little crimes. So. Right, because most people out there are sheeple, walk when the little man in the light doesn't say walk and he'll get in trouble. We can't do that. We can't go against big mommy government. No way. So I think this is right, but they're presenting it in a very hit piece kind of way. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, okay. I mean, but again, if you boil it down, then everybody falls into this category of petty crime. Like I said, if you want to take the letter of the law and literally say if you jaywalked any time in your life you're a criminal, then everybody's a criminal, right? Have you run a red light? Have you not made a full stop? Yeah, those things. This is petty crime again. So it's so you can say petty crime, but I think what we're looking at here is it's a hit piece. That's what it is. Okay. Anyway, a couple more shout outs and then we'll move on from this. Again, this is live 702-957-1037. If you got comments on this, want to say hi, show feedback, whatever. We're here for you. We're watching the phone lines and Discord. Okay, so we got let's see, Eugenia, what's happening? Thanks for being here. Eugenia, sorry if I butchered that. I probably did. Isaiah from Idaho. Hello. Charles, thanks for being here. Steven, yeah, I think that catches up. Gabe. John. Oh man, some people just keep coming. Okay, and then there we go. So, all right. I don't know, man. And Luxor Sundragon on Twitch says conspiracy speculators. There you go. There you go. Maybe that lines us up and describes us a little bit better. But okay, yeah. No, I think again, you boil this down to petty crime and everybody's a criminal, and I just don't think that's the case. That's silly. So you could lump any group of people, including all people, into this, I think, and make an article.
I don't know. I think that's one of these things where we think that all people act like us when they really don't. We think that everyone in the world thinks the same way we do. But I definitely know people who will refuse to cross the road unless that particular light is blinking, who will refuse to jaywalk because they know, that's illegal. So there definitely are people like that. And they're the people who follow the rules and listen to what the media tells them. Let's move on, though. Okay. So Bob Lazar. Remember Bob Lazar? Who's Bob Lazar?
Yeah, Bob Lazar. So he's the guy. He was the reverse engineering UFOs guy. He kind of blew the whistle on Area 51. He was famous for being out here in Las Vegas, and he hit the news with George Knapp back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, and kind of blew open the whole alien reverse engineering thing, supposedly. And he had a movie with Jeremy Corbell recently, and kind of had some maybe introduced to a new generation type of thing 20 some years later, 30 years later, I don't know, been a long ass time. And that's who Bob Lazar is. He's a reverse engineering UFO guy. That's what he is.
Yeah, exactly. And so he was actually on the Joe Rogan podcast today. So it's rare to get an interview with him without that Jeremy Corbell fellow following him around. And Jeremy Corbell was on the podcast as well, although he kept his mouth shut for the most part. But it's interesting to see his story. Again, we've covered his story in the past, looked at some of the details, and more of his story is coming out to be true, like the hand scanners and the mountain bunkers and all this kind of stuff. It's all coming to be true. It's interesting. So he was on the Joe Rogan. I recommend seeing it. I turned it up to 2.5 times speed, which is what I do to get through things pretty quick. It's a skill. You can learn that skill if you really want to. And it was a great interview. I really enjoyed it. But this brought me to mind of this thing. So open up the dailymail.co.uk. Mysterious white UFO filmed hovering over Area 51 by hikers. Yeah, so there we go. We got some hikers out in the mountains around Area 51. And they had this really high zoom camera. And they actually filmed the base. They got some beautiful pictures of it. And they saw what looked to be a UFO. So thinking about Bob Lazar being on the show today, this brought it up in my mind is that, yeah, we're still seeing Area 51 UFOs. They're still there. They're still moving around. And the whole thing is still mired in secrecy. So there is a video here. I think if you click on it, the very top video, it's timestamped to where it needs to be. But you'll see some things moving around there, disc-shaped objects at Area 51 in 2019. It's pretty incredible. And again, verifies what Bob Lazar was saying all those years ago.
Okay, so we'll play this in just one sec. I got a great comment here. James on Facebook says, there's a reason we talk least about the biggest things in life. Okay, let's play this. Inside Area 51, Part 1, action. Okay, so this is, it looks like it's still, okay. All right, expected audio. We have no audio. Is it broken?
There is audio. No, there is audio. And yeah, it's a zoom in camera. So it's pretty amazing what they've done. They've zoomed in for miles and miles.
Okay, there it is. So they're, is this not playing? What the hell's going on here? So it's playing, so there should be audio here, and does it come in later, or is my shit broken?
No, there's a guy talking the entire time. Click on the YouTube link beside it and you can pull it up in a new screen, but yeah, there's definitely audio.
Yeah, okay. All right. There's something going on here. There's something going on here. Let's see what this is. Whoa, ooh, the Kardashians. Exclusive. Kim Kardashian parades in her killer curves in a tiny string bikini.
No.
Oh, ooh. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, and but it was right there on the damn side. Okay, let's see. What's going on? Is this broken? Yeah, no, something's broken here.
Worked for me. Anyway, so in this video, I'll describe it in case there's no audio. Again, you got a hiker in the hills around this S4 Area 51 base, and he's got this real high zoom, and that's why it's real jittery, why it's moving around, why you see the haze in the air. And he sees what looks to be a UFO on the right-hand side, a silver-shaped disc kind of hovering there, moving a little bit. And then you actually see one, even before that, move off to the right-hand side. It zooms off there.
Okay. All right, I'm checking this out. So these are definitely amazing pictures here. What else? Why am I not hearing this? This is irritating me.
All right, everybody.
Oh, there we go. Wait, what the hell?
I do not believe this.
Okay, so there was just no audio yet. All right, so he stopped on this. U.S. Department of Interior, unlawful to disturb. Elevation, looks like somebody carved in 8,000 feet above sea level. And information, right, Washington, D.C. for information. A geological survey. So there we go. There's a you shouldn't be here marker. up in the wilderness. Okay, let's see what this guy's to say about it. Now, I'm thrilled that my shit isn't broken. All right, action.
Just sunnier than sunny. We're in the wolf lair right now. And as you can see, it's completely snowing. And look at this.
So I think you messed up the timestamp. You'll have to go to 11 minutes
out
to get back.
Mountain that's right by us. We're actually above the clouds. Oh my gosh.
Okay, 11 minutes. Here we go. Oh, there's the UFO. Okay, so left side we got he's got a shot. I'm going to pause this real quick and describe this. So there's a shot. It looks like from very far away, zoomed in, and there's the famous Area 51, right? Everybody knows what it looks like where the hangars are positioned because you can see it on Google Maps. And so, you know where the hangars are positioned, but what's in the hangars, what's underground, right? There's all that to speculate about. But this guy's taking a shot here, a video from a very long distance. But over here on the left side, you can see what appears to be like a hovering disc, which would be a classic type-shaped UFO. All right, here we go, action.
Yeah, there's something moving in there right there. I swear that moved.
Yeah, that thing is totally moving.
And you'll actually see another thing around 1050-ish.
Make sure Janet
from the center of the frame move off to the right.
Okay, 1050-ish is the timestamp there. I will go to that. All right, so there's definitely some kind of hovering disc here. So if it's faked, this is a fantastic fake. But let's go to 1050 and see what's here. So yeah, hovering disc on the left side, or that was in the middle, you said?
Yeah, you'll see like a white haze in the very center. It's like a smaller disc, a very small UFO. So you'll see it
underneath.
It moves off to the right now.
Yep, there it is. Okay, so there's something like smaller kind of floating down here. Okay, all right, so there's two of them. Maybe three of them even. Okay, at least two. And wow, okay. And all right, I did link this in the chat if you guys want to check it out and watch it full screen. We always recommend you do because, yeah, you can't really beat high def on your own screens. So please do that. But yeah, this is amazing. All right, so these guys went out there and tell me this ends well. Did they disappear?
I didn't check the end of it, but think about this. I don't know why this hasn't been done before. We've seen millions, I won't say millions, hundreds of times people have driven up to that famous gate. You know, the gate, the road access to Area 51. Driven up there, they've seen the security truck on the hill with those guys looking at them, and there's a big sign that says, "You cannot cross here." So we've seen people drive up to that gate hundreds of times. Why aren't we seeing this? Why isn't there a civilian organization camped out on the mountains surrounding, because Area 51's in like a basin, right? So there's hills surrounding the entire thing. Why isn't there like a civilian organization sitting up on those hills on the public land you're allowed to go to, hook up some telescopes, hook up some binoculars, and film this base 24/7? Get this kind of content. It seems to me it's entirely possible. It's not even expensive, right? Some phones have this kind of zoom built in. So get a tripod up there, zoom in, constantly photograph this base. You're perfectly within your rights to do so. So this kind of content, this is really inspiring. I'm glad this guy got out there and did it. This is amazing.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious why you don't do this and stay there 24/7, because eventually they'll come get you. So they'll send somebody up there to come get you. I did see, of course, you know, being in we do this
public land, I don't think they can come and get you. You know, the borders of the base are clearly demarcated. You know, you're allowed to be there. You're allowed to be where this guy is. He's not sneaking on and, you know, spy photographing anything. He's allowed to be where he is. So I think it's okay. I think it's perfectly legal.
Well, but if you're actually, okay, so if you're in a spot where you can photograph a top secret facility, and that's exactly what you're doing, I think there's let's say you could argue that they could be removed, right? And probably not in a happy way. So that's what I would guess. Hey, if you're brave enough to do this, good on you. I'm not sure I am, and it's close. I could drive up there in a couple hours. So I don't know, maybe. What do you think, Frank? Should we go up there and try it one day?
Absolutely, we should. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, get a tripod and get the old motorcycles out and go up on those hills there, and yeah, that would be amazing. I'm surprised more people haven't done this. Is that a UFO? Or is that just a glitch? You know, a reflection of something? It did seem to move. I don't know what to think, but this is phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely. And again, remember, everything we look at, you have to look at with a skeptical eye as well. Was that fake? Because this would be faked easily. Are these guys up to some shenanigans? Who knows? Like I said, I've linked it if you guys want to check it out and maybe do the frame-by-frame analysis. We'd love to see that. And if you want to make your own YouTube channel, that's a great way to do it. You just take these UFO things and go frame by frame and talk about them, and bam, you're a zillionaire. You're a UFO zillionaire until they demonetize you. But yeah, there you go. Good stuff. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna kill this video. But again, I linked it if you guys want to check it out. Pretty good stuff. And yeah, exactly. Good comment here. Good comment from who was this? Courtney Anna, what's up? Area 51 still kicking it old school. Yeah, they're still there. They're still UFOs. There's just stuff floating. Aaron, what's up? Thanks for showing up, man. He says what they can do and what they will do, probably different things. Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. If you want to get caught and you want to get, I recommend you go to the top of the hill above Area 51 and turn on your camera. See how long you stay up there. Yeah, Philip says go live if you guys do. He wants to see us get arrested, Frank.
No, I don't think you would. Again, they could arrest you. They could put a bullet in your head from a mile away. Whether or not they will do that, that's another question entirely. These guys got away with it, so I don't see why anyone else could.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's like that, the investment strategy advice, right? And like, what do they say? Like, past results are no indication of future. It's the future. You get what I'm trying to say here. Just because they got away with it doesn't mean you will, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so there you go. So yeah, Area 51 still at it. Things happening there. Maybe reverse engineered UFOs. Is Bob Lazar right? I think you may be onto something here, Frank. More again, but okay, this is the thing. So Bob Lazar was like, it was 1989, right? I think that was the year when all this first came out. And so now here we are, many, many years later, and instead of 30 years even, instead of disproving him, there still seems to be things clunking out that are kind of proving what he said, right? Or at least highly suggesting that he wasn't completely fabricating everything. So I think that's good. I think that's pretty sexy, and it's there we go.
Yeah, it's an amazing point to make is that 30 years later, this is still going on. You're still seeing it. If it looks like a UFO to me, and that's all I can say. And it supports his theory. So he was on that Joe Rogan podcast. Good interview, only 2 hours long. It was pretty good. And again, all this stuff keeps verifying what he says. Now, I wanted to bring up an issue with you. How do you rationalize this Bob Lazar cultural phenomena? Bob Lazar is reverse engineering UFOs in the 1980s. They've got them on Area 51. They're learning how to build them. They know how the reactors work. They can fly them. Remember, he photographed from the road a bunch of UFOs in the sky at night. He knew when they'd take off. He knew when they'd land. And indeed, they were on that footage. So the government, according to Bob Lazar's mythology, knows all about UFOs. They know everything about UFOs, including how to build them. Meanwhile, you got To the Stars Academy, on the other hand, these unidentified aerial phenomena. We have no idea what they are. We can't chase them with our jets. We can't even find them. They zoom around us. We can barely even see them on radar. We have no ideas what these things are. We should be investigating in Congress, in the Senate, to find out what these UFOs are, because we have no idea. You see, they're two polar opposites. On one hand, the government's building UFOs. On the other hand, the government has no ideas what UFOs are. So how do you rationalize those two inconsistencies?
Well, I think it's easy. The government, let's say, I was going to say the government are liars, but I think that's probably a little harsh, right? Nah, the government are a bunch of liars. That's why. So of course they're not going to tell us what's really going on, even if they. Okay, so let's just go through the possibilities here of maybe what's happening with the government. These things are happening, right? Maybe they reversed engineered some, but maybe there's these other things that are happening, like these Tic Tac things. Maybe let's assume all that's true, the Tom DeLonge stuff and then Nimitz incident, and these things that are moving around that still are doing better than our reverse engineered UFOs. Let's say, right? The TR-3B is one that's been speculated highly, that the triangular shaped thing that hovers and floats and makes no noise, right? So that's one example. Another one is the stuff that we just saw, like the classic saucer shape. I think Bob Lazar called that the sport model, which was pretty much what was floating right there in that video we just watched. So maybe we have these things, right? And we can, defy gravity, defy physics, standard physics, like this type of stuff. But what if these Tic Tacs, this new stuff, is completely beyond what we even know with the reverse engineered stuff? You see what I'm saying? So maybe there's an entirely new class that is scaring the hell out of people. And if that's the case, we'd never know anything about it, right? So I think if you line it up that way, and there's these new objects that maybe they are us, right? Maybe it was some kind of test thing to see how people reacted. I mean, who knows? There's a ton of speculative things here. Again, we're live, guys. If you guys have if you have thoughts on Area 51 or the Tic Tac stuff or To the Stars Academy, Tom DeLonge, Lou Elizondo, any of this, give us a call. 702-957-1037. It's live. It's Thursday night. You got Frank, you got Mike. We're talking UFOs. Who doesn't love UFOs, right? So if you want to be on the show, that's how you do it. Go to troubleminds.org. You can find the phone number and the Discord link. Get in here and tell us what you think. But I mean, right? You see what I'm saying, Frank? It's
I'm going to have to disagree with you, because Tom DeLonge, To the Stars, and that unidentified TV show on the History Channel, they're presenting the whole issue as, what the heck is this? We've never seen anything like this before. We've never even seen anything close to this before. These things are completely unidentified. We have no inkling, no history, nothing to identify these. These are such an anomaly that we're just flabbergasted. That's the way they're presenting it. Why don't they get Bob Lazar on the show? Why didn't To the Stars Academy interview Bob Lazar? Why didn't they have government contacts? Lou Elizondo worked for the ATIP program, worked in the government. Why is he not down there at Area 51 looking at these same craft we're seeing in this video? So there's this big disconnect between the two, this huge disconnect that it's just impossible to rationalize for me. Because let's say you're right. Let's say the UAPs are 10 times more advanced than the UFOs, the Area 51 UFOs. It's still good information. It's still information they should be presenting to the public. After all, this is official UFO disclosure, but we're not getting a single bit of that. So it's real weird, real strange inconsistency between the two stories.
Yeah, there's definitely some sort of a paradox going on here with so this is bizarre, right? So you go back to 1989 and we have these UFOs, right? Like there was the Phoenix Lights in the what was it, late 90s, early 2000s. And so you have these TR3B type things. You have these sport models defying gravity, bending light around them. Like those are some of the properties that Bob Lazar talked about. And I don't know if you caught this detail, Frank, when Bob Lazar did the video or the new show or movie, I think it was with Jeremy Corbell, he actually stated that he didn't think that the UFO that they were trying to reverse engineer was something new, like something they had captured or maybe crash landed and they were trying to fix it. He sort of implied that it was maybe old, like ancient, and they found it buried underground type of thing. Like, did you catch that detail? Like he was kind of talking in terms that this thing might have been very, very old, and they found it and were trying to make it work type of thing, trying to reverse engineer.
Yeah, he did address that on the Rogan, and what he said essentially is that he didn't know how old it was. So it could have been 1,000 years old. It could have been 20 years old. He just had no idea where it came from, is kind of the story he went with, at least as of today. You're right, though. So these could be generation 10 technology, where the UAPs are generation 76 technology, more advanced. But still, why isn't To the Stars Academy, why isn't Lou Elizondo looking into the Area 51? It doesn't make any sense. If this is official UFO disclosure, I'm going to hold the government to a much, much higher standard than I would Farmer Jimmy Bob in Montana, who films a UFO on his antiquated smartphone. They have satellites, they have radar, they have all this kind of stuff. And so they should be held to such a high standard compared to these amateur UFO sightings. And they should be able to go to Area 51. Take the Unidentified History Channel show right into the Area 51 if this is official disclosure and talk about these things, but they don't do it. So there's this weird inconsistency. I just can't get my head around it. Does the chat have any comments on this? What do they think? I see we have someone in the caller queue.
Yeah, so we got again, if you guys want to be on the show, Discord, you can get on Discord. You can give us a call, 702-957-1037. I say it fast, but go to troubledminds.org and you'll find the phone number there and the Discord link, and we'll put you on the show. What are your thoughts on this? We're talking about Area 51. We're talking about Bob Lazar, Jeremy Corbell, and the video they made, or the movie. I keep saying video. I'm demeaning his movie by calling it a video. But yeah, so what's really happening here? And have they changed so much? Yeah, maybe that's it, right? Maybe this is 1989, and this is old hat, and now new hat is these Tic Tac things that are like zooming underwater and zipping around and moving it. You can't even track them; they move so fast. So who knows? Who knows what's actually happening here? And I think that's the problem, right? There's so much damn information. You're not sure which part is actually maybe accurate and worth following up on, because it's like literally a mess. Like, the more you look into it, you do the government documents. I mean, we've done shows. If you go back and look at some of the shows we've done whole shows on FBI files, like, that you find on the actual, like, FBI.gov website, and they're talking about interdimensional aliens in these files, right? And so, is this disinformation? Is this real shit? Like, what the hell is really going on here? And so that's the problem, is there's so much stuff that makes you raise those eyebrows, that how the hell do you parse it and figure out what's real and what's not? I think that's at issue here. So there we go. Let's move the caller in if we got somebody in Discord there.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say one final thing on this, though, is that the inconsistency in the two stories and the fact that we're still seeing UFOs at Area 51 strongly implies that someone is lying to us. Now, that may seem obvious. Of course it's obvious, but they're lying to us. We're not getting the full truth. We're not getting the full story. They're spinning us a tale. They're telling us a narrative. They're definitely lying to us in some way. It's clear as day when you look at things like this.
Yeah, okay, I can buy that. James adds, the government are protecting us from the truth by lying. The average human can't handle the truth of light, ETs, money, religion. It all leads to one pot, which is I think the problems for the government is what the pot is. Okay, let's keep the comments coming, guys. If you want to get on the show, give us a call or jump on Discord, just like this individual right here. Let's bring them in.
Hello, you're on the air. Trouble Minds Radio. What are you thinking? What are you feeling about this stuff?
Hey, guys.
What's happening?
Oh, hey, it's Sean here. Canada.
Sean from Canada. What's up? Our favorite Canadian. How you doing, my man? What's on your mind?
Just gonna make this really quick.
All right, shoot. Turn you up here. Turn your. There you go. Let's boost the volume. All right, go right ahead.
sorry, the whole double deception is having.
You're cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Is it a speaker thing or is it an internet thing?
Yeah, I'm on a speaker thing. Can you
Okay,
hear me
yeah.
better?
Yeah, get close if you can, and we should be able to hear you.
Anyways, so yeah, they have the whole double deception, so that way no one really knows what it is because the fact it's lies that it's hard time.
Okay, so double deception is what you're saying. So it's they so not only do they tell us the wrong thing, they tell us more of the wrong things that contradict the first wrong things. If you can get us off speaker because it's cutting in and out. If you can, that's probably the best way to hear here.
And also sucks for connection.
Oh, your connection sucks too. Fantastic. Love that Canadian internet. Canada, right? We're right next door, and for some reason we got internet figured out, and they don't. I'm confused. I'm just confused. But okay, all right. Any thoughts on that, Frank?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. Is there maybe someone has finally figured something out? Maybe there's a group out there that's finally figured something out, and they're just spreading all this misinformation now to the Stars misinformation, Lazar misinformation, to confuse the issue as much as possible. That seems to me a valid strategy.
Well, and that's what they also did during like the Vietnam, the Iraq war, is that truth with the lies.
Right. So if you mix it up, you can kind of tell a good story because you can't really tell the truth from the lies at that point. It's just a big jumble of information, and it seems like everybody's lying and everybody's telling the truth at the same time. And here we are. It spawns talk shows because you can't. You're right. You can't really. There's so much damn data you can't really parse it out and figure out. Well, okay, we can trace this to this day, and this guy said this the first time, and this is obviously a misinformation campaign, right? We just can't do that. It's impossible. There's too much information at this point. I'm with you, man. I think you're preaching to the choir there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to move you out. Thanks for the call. Your audio quality is horrible, but good points, and thank you for calling it.
There you go. So if you want to get on the show just like that, jump on Discord and or give us a call, 702-957-1037. Go to troubleminds.org. That's the official website. And bam, there you go. You got on the show. Thank you. Great call.
I think, great call. I think that's a really good point, is these two conflicting narratives. It's not so that one can tell us the truth and the other can't. No, it's just to make the whole thing as confusing as possible. You know, until I see a crashed UFO spaceship right in front of me, burning debris on my front lawn, I'm not going to believe 100%. I'll believe 50%, but I won't believe 100% anything any of these people are telling me. Because when you have two narratives that are completely contradicting each other, you know one person's lying. And one of these two people are lying. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's both of them. I don't know if they're both telling the truth. That's even possible, but something weird's going on here.
Yeah, this is all definitely suspicious as hell. Like I said, it spawns talk shows, right? Like this is the type of thing that you get all the information and you just continually scratch your head and wonder where the puzzle pieces fit. And so imagine this. That's a good analogy, like a puzzle, right? So you go to the store, you buy a puzzle. You buy like a 1,000-piece jigsaw, and they're like these little tiny pieces, right? But every piece in the puzzle has its place, right? So there's like some solace in knowing, this belongs somewhere. I'm gonna find it. But now buy 100 or 1,000 puzzles, 1,000-piece puzzles, and none of them really belong together, and then dump them all on a table and now put that shit together. That's kind of what we're dealing with, right? It feels like that.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Let's add to this puzzle. How about that? Let's open up this Politico article. Senators get classified briefing on UFO sightings. Okay, so here's another piece of this puzzle. 3 more U.S. senators have received classified Pentagon briefing on Wednesday about a series of reported encounters by the Navy with unidentified aircraft. So this is the To the Stars Academy, Tic Tac, Gimbal, Go Fast videos. 3 more U.S. senators have now received that classified Pentagon briefing, according to Politico. So this is all about the Navy. Navy officials indeed met with these interested congressional members and staffers on Wednesday to provide this classified brief. So again, this is more of the same. The left hand is doing one thing, the right hand's doing something else, and you got your foot tapping on the ground. Everything is doing something different. Why was Bob Lazar not at this hearing? Why were the people from Area 51 not at this hearing? Why is someone like, I don't know, Stephen Greer or whatever not at this hearing? Why are they not getting together to communicate about these issues? From the Navy, but we just saw UFOs at Area 51. So it makes no sense whatsoever. It's all a big tangled knot of lies.
Yeah, exactly. And here we are going back to senators, like I think if you probably asked a senator, hey, excuse me, sir, can you tell me where the nearest gas station is? Right? They wouldn't tell you the truth. they go on a long-winded rant for about 15 minutes about, gas prices and about what they're doing to try and fix it. You know what I mean? Like they're programmed. It's almost like maybe they're the ETs, right? It's almost like we talked about the invasion of the body snatchers. It's almost like politicians act like this. It's like they immediately become instantly stupid when they're elected and put in office, when maybe previously they weren't. I don't know. It's unbelievable how I'm preaching to the choir, but whatever. Okay, but yeah. Here we go. They're Politico, right? This is a very well respected website, and they're saying right here. Well, come on now. You know what I mean. In some circles, let's say. But it says right here, senators get classified briefing on UFO sightings, and and we had the Trump comment. This was a few days back, but. So again, there's something afoot here, right? It's kind of come back around.
It could be. It's real weird. This brings to mind that leak that we covered, I think it was a couple of shows ago, from this Admiral Thomas, who was in the Navy, who had heard about these UFOs and went out to investigate. And he tracked down the group building them, but was told, you don't have the security clearance to learn about this. Get the heck out of here. So maybe that is how you rationalize it, is that one group's doing one thing, the other group's doing something else, and they just can't get along, or they refuse to get along. They refuse to share the information.
Yeah, well, again, or and I think this is the crazy part. It's like a this is probably politically incorrect, but sue me. It's like a Chinese fire drill, right? It's like you get all these folks and you tell them a bunch of different things, and then you don't even know. Again, a politician won't even tell you the truth about simple questions. And so we just can't turn to these guys. I don't know. It just pisses me off. All of this pisses me off because we're funding these assholes, right? Like, I think that's that again, right? Like I just triggered myself by bringing up taxes. We're funding these people. We're funding all of this. And somehow supposedly there's a national security information going on that we can't know, but we're funding it. You know what I mean? It's just the entire damn world is upside down, and we're living in it. So, yeah, couple good comments here. Let's see. Timothy recommends make sure the bushes and hedges in your front yard aren't people camouflaged. So that's always good advice, guys. Strap on the tinfoil a little tighter, and definitely good advice. Mark, what's up on Facebook? Says great show. Hey, thanks. Thanks. Appreciate that. Appreciate you listening. Sherry says, did you see the state of Georgia had radiation alert? I didn't see that. I did not see that. Let's see. What else? Ben says he's had trouble. He had to open up a new Facebook account. He's blaming us. Come on now. I don't know. I don't know if we're that powerful yet. Again, nobody knows who we are. We're nobody. So I'm really not quite sure we banned your Facebook account. Otherwise, nobody else would be here. There we go. James, they use fear to control us. Your mind is ever expanding. Knowledge is power. We can't know for the sake of life. So, yeah, there we go. Here we go. Tony, what's up? Thanks for being here. The government, NASA, lies so much. Even if they did tell the truth, it would be hard to believe. Yeah, I think, again, right? Mix the truth with the lies, and then here we are with the puzzle pieces. It's ugly. It's ugly. Okay, so
to jump in there.
Go ahead.
Pardon me, to jump in there, that's a good point, is we got To the Stars, UFOs are completely unknown. We got Bob Lazar, we're building UFOs. And then I forgot about that. We have NASA on that ISS live feed of the world. You're seeing UFOs all the time. You can see hundreds of them. Go on YouTube, type in UFOs space station. We showed one on the last show. It was a big cigar-shaped object floating in orbit. all of these narratives, and the NASA narrative, although they don't officially admit to it, but at least we can see them with our own eyes on the camera. All of these narratives are different. And so anyway, these senators, they got their briefing. Nothing will come of it because nothing ever does. I'm triggered now. I'm triggered because someone in the chat there mentioned Georgia, and talking about the incompetence of our government leaders. We have to play this clip. I posted it in the Discord for you about a Congressman, Hank Johnson from Georgia. Let's watch this clip, first minute of it, and let's gauge his intelligence and gauge whether someone like this is deal with a UFO problem.
I already know what this is. Okay, I've seen this one before. All right, let's play this. So this is, what did you say? This is a congressman or a senator from Georgia?
Congressman from Georgia. My favorite clip on the entire internet is this clip right here. So let's play a minute and see what I'm talking about.
Okay, so this is Representative Hank Johnson. He's a Democrat from Georgia in the House of Representatives for us. And here we are, paying taxes to support this action. Sorry, rewind. Here we go. Muted. All right, action.
This is a island that at its widest level is 12 miles from.
Okay, he's talking about the island of Guam. It's a small island in the Pacific Ocean, if people are aware of where Guam is and what it is. An island in the Pacific Ocean.
Shore to shore, and at its smallest level, or smallest location, it's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
Very small island, and about 24 miles, if I recall, long.
Okay. I have to stop.
Again, so this guy already sounds... Yeah, he already sounds brain dead. You can hear that. In my opinion, he sounds brain dead. Don't sue me, please. He already sounds brain dead, but we're not even to the punchline yet. We're not even there.
Yeah, you're not even there. Notice the general. He's like annoyed with this guy. He's like, yeah, let's just classify it as a small island. He's like, you can continue. What would you call this? A representative. You can continue, representative. And okay, here we go. This is the best part. Here it comes.
So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place on the island, and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island. And I don't know how many square miles that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have.
Like, this is relevant. They're talking about, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're talking about sending troops to Guam. Is that right, Frank?
Yeah, he'll get to that in a second, but this is the people getting these UFO briefings, right? Imagine this guy talking about anti-gravity, about space travel, about the economic implications of mining asteroids. Imagine that running through his head, and he can't even describe an island. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, here we are painfully trying to it's like the square mileage of the shut up. Okay, here we go. Action.
I have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that. The Guam population, I think, currently about 175,000, and again, with 8,000 Marines and their families, it's an addition of about 25,000 more into the population.
The whole island will become so.
Okay, that's rewind. Okay. If you're not word nerds out there, capsize right here on the video. It says the verb of a boat overturn in the water. So he's talking about an island capsizing. And here's the example. The ship capsized in heavy seas. Tipped over, right? No. This is an island we're talking about. Holy shit. And this is what we fund. And I think you're right. This is a great point, Frank. I think you're right. So even if we had a UFO briefing, these are the types of individuals that are getting briefed. You know what I mean? Like they're like imagine what they're thinking about when they're talking about UFOs.
Exactly. Now, I think we understated that. We understated what just happened. In case you're not aware, in case you're kind of listening, this guy thinks that if you land too many troops on the island, one side of the island will get so heavy that the island itself will flip over in the sea and capsize. That's what he just said.
That's what he said.
He told the general, the island will flip over.
In a congressional hearing with cameras rolling. Yeah. And so in the days following this, of course, he got a ton of blowback because he's a moron and he deserves it. But then he said he was using it as an example, and he didn't literally mean that the island would capsize. But I don't know. There didn't seem to be any sarcasm or illustration in his delivery there. I don't know. It just sounds like he's a moron. Yeah, I think we can call our elected officials morons, and I think we're safe, right? Pretty sure. I don't have to say my opinion on that one. That guy's just a moron. Anyway, that's where our tax money goes to, and that's where the UFO briefings end up. And here we are, here we are talking about it anyway. Holy shit! Holy shit! Yeah, okay. So there you go. It does get better, right? That got better. Okay. I don't know. Oh, the chat. Okay, we're not going to get political on this, guys. Come on. We're not going to get political here. What's up? Pandora 101 on YouTube says, awesome video, guys. Thanks. Hey, we're live. If you want to call in and say hi, 702-957-1037. Join the Discord. Go to troubleminds.org. You can get on Discord, get on the show. So, yeah, we are live, and you can let us know what's happening. You can let us know what is actually happening tonight, because I'm not even sure what's happening tonight. But, yeah, the island of Guam might capsize, says this guy. Okay, whatever. All right, so where do we move on from there, Frank?
Yeah, and again, I just want to make the point that these are the people getting the briefings. These are the people that the Navy is telling all about these UFO, isn't it? This is complete nonsense. Complete nonsense. When these people are learning about these things, and the intelligent civilians out there, you and I who do this research, the audience, we don't get to learn a damn thing. But the people who think that an island will tip over, they get to learn it all. And they're probably being lied to. I guarantee they're being lied to. So they're useful idiots put in these positions. And what's the point? This makes me real depressed about the way this whole thing's headed, because these people will never ask the questions. These people will never give us the answers. It's a joke. That's a big fat joke.
Yeah, they're incapable. I mean, with that type of mental acuity, right? Thinking on his feet, this guy, no, get out of here. And you know what the funny thing is? This was years and years and years ago. You see the grainy footage. Like, this fool is still in Congress. like what the hell's going on with this world? Like Maxine Waters is another one. You can name it. Mitch McConnell. Let's go to the top. There's a ton. Nancy Pelosi. They've been in Congress for freaking ever, and these people are still there. Like from years and years and years ago. All the stupid things they do and say, and they're literally not accountable whatsoever, because the big money comes in and puts them back in office every 2 years. And yeah, here we are. Here we are talking about it, but can't do a damn thing about it, right? You go down and cast your vote. It doesn't even matter. Guess what? Nancy Pelosi's back. Hi, it's me again. Oh shit. Okay. Anyway. Again, not trying to get political. Okay. So where do we go from there, Frank?
Okay, I was actually just pulling up the next story. Open up this Quora link. So Quora is a website on the internet. You can ask questions, discuss things. It's a discussion website. So someone posted on Quora, what are the most plausible explanations of Navy pilots seeing hypersonic objects at 30K feet, objects with no visible engine, and sometimes described as a cube within a sphere? So that's what someone on this, it's like Yahoo Answers, only a little bit more sophisticated. That's what this Quora website is. So they said, what are these plausible explanations for seeing these things? What's going on here? And so I'm not sure what happened, but in the last 2 hours, the answer that I wanted to point to, which was from someone who worked at Lockheed Martin, was deleted. So there's a senior staff physicist who answered this question. What's the plausible explanation for these things? But it's deleted. You can't see it here. His name is, what's his name? Ibteesam, oh my God, I'm going to ruin it. Reaz, staff physicist at Lockheed Martin. His answer was deleted from this damn website. So what does that mean?
Wait, I've got it up.
Oh, do you see it? I don't see it. It's not even.
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, you'll have to summarize it then, because
wait.
To me, it's deleted. It's not even here.
Hold on, I'm gonna check this. We're gonna open this up in a new browser tab just to make sure. Right, I'm not gonna refresh this. I'm gonna be very careful. Let's see if this is actually gone. Did you find something that got scrubbed from the internet in like the 30 minutes since we started this show? All right, let's see. Let's check this out. It's worth looking at, right? These are the types of things that happen in real freaking time. So let's go. New incognito window, and I'm going to paste this sucker in, and let's see. You are right. Holy shit, it's gone. Okay, all right.
So there you go. So what does this mean? Did he say something that he shouldn't have? Did Lockheed come and say, hey, you can't be answering that question on the internet. You have a security clearance. You can't be doing that. But his answer, which was pretty good, we'll get to the answer in a minute. I found a copy. It seems like you have a copy still up. It was deleted. So what's going on here?
What's going on? Let's read this. Okay, so here we go. I will show you the proof that this has been scrubbed. I'll give you the link and you can check it out. But right now, it is on this, on my browser, and if I hit refresh, this will disappear. This is a Ibteesam Reaz, staff physicist at Lockheed Martin. I'm going to read this. It says, quote, "Don't be naive and think the 3 USS Nimitz, Go Fast, and Gimbal events are the only ones on the official books. Luis Elizondo, director of the governmental ATIP, has claimed that there were hundreds of other incidents in the recent past which are not cleared for public release. But we didn't care. There are thousands of governmental records as disclosed via the Freedom of Information Act. That's the FOIA. Go back to John Greenwald Jr. Shout out if you're listening. We love you." He continues describing these craft with insane maneuverability as far back as the 40s. So these advanced crafts do exist. There is no question about it. Here's what we can say, noting this technology has stayed somewhat stagnant since the days of the Foo Fighter UFOs in World War II. So he continues here, but what the hell, Frank? This has been taken down off of the Quora site. And so does that... Okay, so I have 1,000 things to say. Go ahead. I know you do too.
Yeah, okay, so remember, this guy's a staff physicist, a senior staff physicist. I've seen him reported at Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin, you should know what that is. They build the tools we use to blow up the brown people. That's what they do, right? So they build all these aircraft stealth bombers, all this kind of stuff. So he's said something here that he's not allowed to, or he said something that someone took offense to. I don't know what it is. I can't find a copy. So you'll have to read this. I can't see your screen, but he had a good answer. He went through all the points and he said some very interesting things. So there's something in this answer that he was told to delete, or Quora was told to delete, but that's real weird because he answered it like a day ago and now it's gone. So what the hell's this is a real authority on the issue too. That's why it's important.
Okay, so since that's the case, and maybe we caught something that shouldn't be on the internet, we're going to go through this with a fine-tooth comb. I'll read every word of this so that we have an archive, and I will screenshot this so this doesn't disappear forever. All right, so he continues, right? So he ended, noting this technology has stayed somewhat stagnant since the days of the Foo Fighter UFOs in World War II. Now, his first point, someone has discovered a propulsion technology which does not rely on jets of gas or emission of particles. Otherwise, we would see contrails. Notice he didn't say chemtrails. He continues, there are no sonic booms as the craft accelerates. This is a hint that the makers are using some esoteric form of propulsion related to the gravitational field, ? In parentheses. So that's the first point.
Yeah, let's stop there. Let's unpack that. I think there's nothing out of the ordinary said there, because even that unidentified show on the History Channel, they've said it's likely some kind of gravitational propulsion. Bob Lazar, of course, said the same thing. It's gravitational propulsion. But this is a good take. Remember, you want to interview a hunter if you want to learn about Bigfoot. You want to interview a graveyard employee or a mortuary worker if you want to hear about ghosts. You want to interview a pilot for UFOs. And if you're talking about propulsion, well, what better source to go to than a Lockheed Martin physicist, right? These are the experts in the field. So this first point, propulsion technology, no gas, no jets, no emissions of particles. I think we've seen this all before. So this probably wasn't what got him in trouble.
Okay, so we'll continue though. So he's got 4 points here, and or actually, does this go further down? How far down does this go? Oh yeah, okay. He's got videos linked. Holy shit! All right, yeah, let's just roll with this, Frank. Let's spend some time here, because if this was literally scrubbed from the internet minutes ago, would you call this breaking news? They took him down for a reason, right? What's up? Couple shout outs. We got Fred and we got Todd. Thanks for showing up. Hey, Todd, real quick. Make America great again. What's up? I'm just teasing. Okay. He's a Trump hater, so just trying to piss him off. Okay. So, all right. So that's the first. Someone discovered a propulsion technology. Okay. His second point, straight off the interwebs here, off the Quora website. Again, a staff physicist at Lockheed Martin. We can't say his name because it's too exotic for us, but we can talk about the exotic propulsion. Here we go. Point 2. Someone has discovered how to make right-angled turns in all directions at supersonic speeds, almost instantaneous acceleration from rest, and similarly, almost instantaneous deceleration from supersonic speeds to rest. Now, in parentheses, I said almost instantaneous. It may well appear instantaneous due to an altered metric tensor. Thus, the apparent time taken for a maneuver would not be the same for the occupants of the aircraft. What the hell is he talking about here? Okay. Wait.
He's saying it's like a time dilation thing. The people in the craft, they're not moving at the same time as the people outside the craft. I think that's what he's going for.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was reading there. Okay, so he's saying that there's some sort of time warp happening, right? We've talked about portals. We've talked about bending space-time. We've talked about time travel, right, on this show. And we're kooks. We're crazy. We're insane. Well, the staff physicist at Lockheed Martin writes this on the internet and it gets taken down. So, okay, all right. So there we go.
That's new information that I've never heard that before. We've heard the gravity drives, the gravity propulsion. I've never heard that the time inside the craft could be different than the time outside the craft. So maybe that's why this was deleted. Also, I've noted his use of the word someone. He doesn't say something. He says someone. That's telling as well, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So he keeps, and it's bolded. Someone has discovered propulsion technology. Someone has discovered how to make it do these things. And it may well appear instantaneous, but he's saying that it's not. So to the pilots at hand, let's say you put a person or a cat in there, that they're not actually susceptible to the G-forces that would be normally happening because they're actually not really locked in our time frame. They're in some sort of maybe slowed down version of time, right? Where they can move quickly within that alteration and somehow still be seen and exist in our time space. This is crazy. Okay, let's continue with this. This is crazy. Point number 3. Thus, again, bolded, someone has discovered how to mitigate G-forces to a very large extent. A highly trained pilot can withstand about 10 Gs, but craft described by the military regularly force their internal contents. Note, in parentheses, occupants if there are any. So he's, of course, leaving it open to maybe unmanned drones, which, of course, we have the technology to do. And it continues. So craft is described by the military regularly force their internal contents to experience hundreds of Gs. The USS Nimitz UFO dropped from 28,000 feet to 50 feet in 0.78 seconds. Okay, and I know that's exactly accurate to the 0.78 because I've been looking into this pretty hardcore on the Nimitz incident, and there's an entire movie on it. Have you seen this, Frank? We'll get to that later.
Yeah, the Black Vault fellow put that movie up. It was pretty good, like an animation style thing of the Nimitz encounter, taking into account what the pilot said, putting it together like a reenactment, so to speak. It's actually pretty good. We should find that and link it.
It is good. Yeah, we will link that in the show. So when this goes up on YouTube, all the links that we're talking about, I will screenshot this shit. I will put this up, and you can find this yourself and read this stuff. Now, this is crazy. All right, we're going to continue. So the USS Nimitz UFO dropped from 28,000 feet to 50 feet in 0.78 seconds. This is, for reference, 10,900 meters per second. The craft's other buddies, similarly sized capsules, previously had dropped from 80,000 feet to 20,000 feet in a few seconds. Okay, now, so that's his third point. Again, this is a guy from Lockheed Martin, a senior, physicist is what he's called?
Yep.
Yes. Senior staff physicist at Lockheed Martin.
Yeah, again, keep in mind, this is deleted off the internet. So that paragraph, again, he uses the word someone, not something, but I think everything else in that paragraph we've known about. When he's describing it moving, though, that's an interesting way to look at it with this time dilation bit above, is that from the perspective of the people in the craft, they're moving 28,000 feet or whatever you said. They're moving that time, but maybe it takes them 20 minutes to move that amount of space. Whereas from the outside, looking at this thing, maybe it takes, 0.7 seconds. So inside the craft, maybe it took 10 minutes. Outside the craft, it only took a second. I've never heard that before anywhere. So I think that's what's gotten him taken down.
Yeah, and exactly. So not only that, and he's writing this like a scientist would write this. It's exact this many feet in exactly this many seconds. And so, meters per second, all this other stuff. So, yeah, there's something going on here. There's something to this, right? If this is taken down... All right, let's continue. So the next one, his fourth point here, and then he continues below. He says, at the same time, these crafts regularly glow in different colors. Red and green, fiery balls were infamously known as Foo Fighters in World War II, following Allies and Axis fighters' craft in the night. Thus, the plasma field over their craft is a hint that indeed there is a lot of energy being produced by the craft since the particles are highly excited. Doesn't that sound like a scientist? Holy shit.
Yep. I don't think I've heard a gravitational kind of shield around the craft. I've never heard the craft is producing so much energy that it's ionizing the air around the craft, turning it to plasma. I've never heard that before. So again, maybe this is like he's accidentally revealing a few too many details, but I've never heard a plasma field over the craft. But that does make sense, right? These orange balls that people see out in the sea, the red and green fiery balls as well. That makes a lot of sense. It's a plasma as a byproduct of the intense energy being produced by the Bob Lazar style reactor.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so let's continue with this. This is crazy. So then he's got a little note here, and it looks like it's from a newspaper report, and it reads: Lieutenant Graves and his fellow pilots told the newspaper that the video showed objects accelerating to hypersonic speeds, making sudden stops and instantaneous turns, something beyond the physical limits of a human crew. Okay, and that's obviously taken from some article. Actually, let's find that. We can search that and probably find the exact article that came from. But so he's citing this. This is reported by somebody somewhere, right? And so let's search this and find it. And he's citing sources, right? So he's made some pretty good points here. He's kind of sniffing this out. And notice again, back to the someone. This is a senior physicist at Lockheed Martin. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Let's continue. Any thoughts there, Frank, before we move on?
Yeah, I don't know. This is real strange that it was taken down. Like, it's just a dumb question and answer website. And so think about that. Let's take a brief segue for a moment as you're looking for that article. Think about that. Think about the information control they have in place. This is again, it's not a popular website. It's not very important. It's Quora. You can ask, like, why is my cat pooping this way? You can ask a bunch of dumb questions like that. And they've gone to the trouble to find this website, find this question, and take his answer off the internet. So you think you're safe posting about the UFO you saw or posting about some detail about something you do at work. You're not safe. They are keeping track of everything. So you think about brainwashing, think about information control. That's what this is. This is information control. Taking away a relevant expert's testimony on a subject, just getting rid of it. That's amazing to me.
It is, and here it is. Again, this is as breaking as it gets right here. So we're going to continue with this, but I did find the article. I linked it for you there, Frank. It's cbsnews.com. So that's where this quote came from. And, of course, several other have picked it up. This is the top Google result. But we'll continue. And so, okay, so if you're just showing up, Todd, what's up? We're talking about, this is crazy. We have a senior physicist from Lockheed Martin describing in detail what is actually happening with these UFOs, and that somebody somewhere has figured out how to phase in and out of time, right? How to slow down time, how to I don't know. He continues. Let's see. This is crazy again. And to be clear, this is scrubbed from the internet. Frank pulled this up. We're doing the show, and when you refresh this, this is now gone. This is no longer on the internet. And so we're talking about it because I've got a cache copy right here in my browser. Anybody who knows anything about the internet knows you can have it here, but if you refresh, it's gone. And I have refreshed, and it's gone. So here we go. Real-time redactions. Like we always say, that technocracy is out there listening. Algorithms 24/7. But crazy. All right. And now he gets into conspiracy theories. So let's continue. So This is, again, we won't say his name. What should we call him? Fred Flintstone? Fred Flintstone, the staff physicist at Lockheed Martin. It's probably safer for us to say that as well. It's right there in the stream. You can see it yourself. And, okay, so he continues, and he talks about conspiracy theories. And here we go. Among the great conspiracy theories, it is that they are actually the product of U.S. government black projects. These contracts are assumed to be given out to Lockheed Skunk Works or Northrop Phantom Works. I do work on aerodynamics at Lockheed Martin at Fort Worth and have a few friends from the Skunk Works division here. Whenever I've tried to ask them about the feasibility of black projects resulting in these aircraft, they flat out said that our engineering methods are not far enough developed to build such craft. Besides, why would the U.S. be pumping out $60 billion on F-35s that can barely reach Mach 2? Okay, good there. So, anything to comment on that, Frank, as we roll
Yeah, I think this is problematic too, isn't it? He's saying that he's interviewing, asking people, and he's saying that these people actually give him answers, that they don't have the ability to do it. So maybe that's also why this got removed, is he's admitting that he's kind of trying to break into the secrecy of the people around him. It'd be funny to go to this guy's Twitter if he has one, see if he still has a job there, because this kind of thing I can easily see being a big issue. You know, interviewing your colleagues, trying to learn about black projects, that's probably a problem.
Yeah, definitely. You don't. This is the type of stuff that you can't talk about. Just like we said, the guy that probably took those Area 51 videos. I wonder if he's still free. I wonder if he's a free man today. Okay, so we're going to continue on this. Now, this is crazy. He's got videos. He cites video. Like, this is a very thorough post here, right? And what makes me think, again, that it's has a lot to do with something true is they took it down. They took this down. All right, here we go. He continues, quote, and if we did, so he's talking about why would the U.S. be pumping out $60 billion on F-35s that can barely reach Mach 2? Okay, that was the end of the last statement. Now, he continues, and if we have this advanced technology for 60-plus years, why aren't they being used in warfare today, at least in an unacknowledged capacity? Why aren't they being used anywhere in the world in other technological applications? And lastly, how did the U.S., and this is amazing, he has in quotes, or Nazi Germany / Soviet Union, if you buy that angle, unquote, or parenthesis, develop these craft with a comparatively primitive aerospace engineering field in the 40s? That last question is one big problem because these aircraft, with the same characteristics and maneuverability, have been seen at least since the 40s.
Aliens, right? So he talked about spending money on these F-35s that are pieces of garbage, and the new ones that are even worse, apparently. They can't even do anything. Well, that's money laundering, clearly. We know that. As for how they built them in the 40s, it must be with outside help. And that could be why they don't want to tell us about it, why they won't acknowledge it, why they don't use them in warfare, is because there's some kind of quote-unquote outside help involved. And that makes sense to me.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's implying. That there's a giant problem here. That if we're literally spending money, billions and billions of dollars on crappy aircraft, actual conventional aircraft, then what the hell is this other stuff? And if that's the case, why were these things seen in the 1940s? During World War II, the famous Foo Fighters. So he's got the couple videos here, the gimbal incident and then the Go Fast incident, which we could play, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to refresh the page and lose all this. So then he continues, update as of June 7th, 2019. Do you still have this up? Do you want to read this one, Frank? I can keep going, just checking, trying to mix you in.
I couldn't find it, so you'll have to read it. I found the first few paragraphs, that was it. I couldn't find a copy that still had the detail.
Okay, so no problem. I will screenshot all of this, and you guys will be able to read this yourself. All right, so then it continues. Update as of June 7th, 2019. And he quote, I quote him, as written, quote, the senior most radar technologist on the USS Nimitz, Kevin Day, he names a name. How about that? And he continues, also the man who ordered the intercept of the Tic Tac UFO, claimed there were hundreds of other companion craft which dropped from 80,000 feet to 20,000 feet to monitor the situation. Only one, which dropped to 50 feet, tangoed with the two jets. On his appearance of the second episode of Unidentified, he says that the fleet made it all the way to the Guadalupe Island near Santa Catalina Island, upon which they disappeared from radar, meaning they had all submerged into the ocean. this really stuck out to me because Santa Catalina is a hotspot for flying objects and submerging into the ocean. I'm going to stop right there. So if anybody, did you, this is a good spot to ask you, Frank, did you see the latest Santa Catalina and Guadalupe Island and all this stuff on the episode 3 of Unidentified? I did watch this.
No, I haven't seen episode 3 yet, but you can go in a bit. But immediately I'm thinking, well, let's get a submarine down there. Let's go find out where these damn things are going, right? If this is a hotspot, if they're going into the water, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. Come on. The Navy has submarines. I'm sure they do. Yeah, they do. I'm sure they do. Let's go down there. Let's find the stuff out. Let's investigate. Let's actually look into these details. If it's not a hoax, if it's not a giant PSYOP information warfare business, and all these things are going down in this particular hotspot, well, let's go down there and find out what's going on. You know, it makes sense. Have they done that? Maybe they have. Will they tell us? Probably not.
Probably not. Exactly. Okay. So if anybody out there has seen episode 3 of Unidentified, this is the Luis Elizondo. And interestingly, this senior physicist is citing this stuff, right? So we roll our eyes at the History Channel, at Luis Elizondo, Tom DeLonge, this whole bit, right? But then somehow, someway, this guy, unbelievably, is citing this show and the people from it. Maybe, probably, suggesting that this isn't a bunch of bullshit. Okay, and I want to note that in the show, episode 3, not to spoil it, but you'll see it when you watch it if you guys check it out. Just off of north of Santa Catalina Island is not only a hotspot, like he says right here, for flying objects emerging into the ocean and submerging and coming out from the ocean. There's also some bizarre magnetic anomaly just north of the island. So that's kind of illustrated in the show itself. This is hot stuff, guys. This was taken off the internet minutes ago. This is hot stuff we're talking about, and so. I don't know. You don't get any more breaking than this, but there you go. There's one to look into, Frank. So there's a bizarre magnetic anomaly in the Earth's magnetic field just north of Santa Catalina Island. And okay. So he's going to continue here. And okay, so quote continues. Luis Elizondo hinted that, although he couldn't go into specifics, the military probably had a strong presence on the island, judging from the many radar sites installed. Thus, we are left with a stronger impetus to speculate that the U.S. government does indeed have something to do with the tic-tac. One of the petty officers claimed that, quote, men in plain clothes, unquote, confiscated the tapes makes more sense now. If indeed this is the case, I must say, most of the aerospace engineers who are not privy to the details of how the craft works are being played for fools. Why are we wasting so much sweat, hard work, money, when some select group of people literally have technology that is beyond the reach of modern physics? The entire world and its reliance on power would change. But then again, is that a good thing for the powerful who rely on oil and gas for geopolitical control? And this ends his post, which was taken down from the internet minutes ago. Holy shit.
I can see why. After seeing that whole thing, after going through it, I can see why. Especially that bit at the end there. It either hints at a breakaway civilization, that there's a group of people completely outside of democratic control, so to speak, that are doing this stuff without our knowledge. So that's one possibility. Or they're just keeping this whole thing going. So oil and gas conglomerates can still make money, can still fund the economy, and they have all this stuff. They just don't care to tell us. Again, outside of democratic control. So some of the points he makes in this are incredibly spicy, and you can see why this was taken away, because this is some really good analysis.
Yeah, this is amazing stuff right here. And so again, I think so early on in this show, in this same show, Frank, I bitched and moaned. I'll accuse myself. I don't want to accuse you of bitching and moaning. I bitched and moaned about the puzzle pieces and how a 1,000 piece jigsaw puzzle is, every piece has a place. But we're looking at 1,000 puzzles dumped randomly and trying to put the puzzle together, which doesn't make sense, meaning that we have way too much information, misinformation. We have the government trying to cover things up and not tell us things. We have, and I don't know, call me a fool, but I think, given this situation right now, I think I just bumped Lou Elizondo up a peg in my that respect list, right? Like there's something to this because they took it down. But the point is that here we are, and I think maybe it seems like these are real pieces to the real puzzle, yes? You see what I'm saying here? It seems like there's a lot of shit we haven't even heard before.
Yeah, either that or this guy is, organizing the puzzle pieces for us, so to speak, because this is a breath of fresh air. This is, some sanity in this whole thing. And I'll say the opposite. I think this took Lou Elizondo down a peg and To the Stars Academy down a peg because he's admitting things here that seems to hint that he knows what everyone else does, especially this time field inside the craft, this plasma barrier around the craft. It seems to me this guy knows what's going on. He just can't come out and say it. And if he knows what's going on, well, then Lou Elizondo knows what's going on. So what's going on? I don't know. So it's funny how we interpret it completely different ways. Maybe this is just meant to be more confusing.
Well, but why would it get taken down, right? So there's something to that. So there's something in here right now that was taken off the internet minutes ago. So what exactly is it, right? And there's a ton of new shit in here that we haven't really heard, specific too. So there's speculation, right? There's like, oh, this is aliens, this is the U.S. government, like you can do that. But this dude has specifics, and he's breaking it down to speeds and supersonic and this and that, and almost instantaneous, and suggesting that there's time dilation somehow. I'm telling you, man, this is hot shit right here. How do we?
So, you know what? I think if we go back to must have been 6 months ago with that crazy guy out in the Las Vegas desert measuring that time anomaly. You remember that? He put out this big thing and some kind of measuring device, and he found that time moved just a little bit quicker than it should have. You remember that guy? Well, maybe we've invented a UFO detector, because if there is a time dilation field inside the craft, presumably it's not like there's slow time, and then you hit the walls of the craft, and then right outside the walls, it's really quick. Now, presumably it's more like a linear thing. It's very fast inside the craft, and then it slowly tapers out. So maybe a UFO flew over this guy's time dilation field detector, and maybe we got to rebuild that thing and put a few of them out around different places.
Yeah, so actually the reason he was out in that area is because that's a UFO hotspot there north of Vegas. So that's one of the reasons I got out to search, because they were it was like one of those, okay, we've been all the way up to Area 51 and they were on the way back. And it was one of those areas where they have a lot of activity, let's say. And so they got out because it was like one of those, oh, let's take a break, we've been in the car for a long time situations. And then they kind of stumbled across it. So yeah, maybe you're right. Like it's if you're detecting time anomalies, and it goes hand in hand with the UFOs here. And we have a Lockheed staff physicist, right? You can't stress that enough. Lockheed Martin is suggesting the same thing. This is crazy, Frank. This is crazy. I'm not killing this. I'm going to screenshot all this. This is going right back up on the fucking internet. Nice try, buddies. So, wow. You ever had that happen, Frank? Actually, we have had that happen, haven't we? Well, we pulled something up.
Happen a few times.
Yeah. Where Frank had pulled something up, and we went to do the show, and then during the show, the shit was taken down off of the internet, guys. This is another situation here, and so we'll continue with this. So I did find the article, which I'm a moron because it's right there linked at the top, but I did Google it in separately in a different window and everything, and it's this CBS article right here. So I did link it for you, Frank. So CBS News: Navy pilots U.S. Navy pilots reportedly spotted UFOs over East Coast. So I'm gonna link this too, so you guys can follow this up. And yeah, like holy shit, what is this, man? This is weird, right? So remember, like 1984, Big Brother, the Ministry of Truth, and things that end up on the internet that stay on the internet, they stay for a reason, right? And things that disappear, they disappear for a reason. So
yeah, and you'd think that once it's on the internet, it's on the internet. But by deleting it off that Quora website, you kind of put a splinter between the source and the replicas. Because 10 years from now, someone could have copied and pasted this so many times that it doesn't even resemble the initial statement. They've added their own details in, or they've changed a word around, right? This delegitimizes his statement. Even though we can read it now, it's going to change over time. It's going to become different. It's going to be pieces and little bits of this will be plugged into different stories, and it'll all, like the telephone game, it'll all come apart. So yeah, the information control is real. You're seeing it now. You're seeing it right in front of you. They took down this answer. They took down the official answer from this guy. That's a big problem. Now, I guess a recap on this. What are the big things here? Time dilation inside the craft. Never. A plasma field outside the craft. I've never heard that before. And if we do have these technologies, why are we wasting our money building these shitty F-35s and the new one that's even worse? I've heard that before, but breakaway civilization. So I can easily see why this was scrubbed, because he's saying a lot of things here that we've never heard before and are kind of problematic to the boss men at Lockheed Martin.
Yeah, and the Saudi sheiks and anybody who pumps oil. Like this is crazy, right? Think about this. Now, if we're literally building F-35s for billions of dollars, right? The stealth fighters, then actual real war in this world is a sham, right? Actual real military might is a sham. Like this goes back to that the Plato in the cave, right? The allegory of the cave, where you get like we're literally living in a shadow puppet world, because the shit that's really happening is nothing close, not even remotely close to what this guy is saying. This is unbelievable. This I see why they took it down, right? Because this here, imagine how many conspiracy theories this validates, right? Even the notion that he's going through point by point. You could extrapolate this out to God knows how many, quote, conspiracy theories. Yeah, you can't have this, right? This is not happening in the real world. Yeah. Well, holy shit, man.
Yeah, the more I look into this and the more sense it makes. You can't claim that the top of the line F-35 is for sale. You can't claim that all this advanced military technology is for sale, the top of the line stuff. If you've got UFOs, you're damn well never selling UFOs to Iran or North Korea or South Korea or China. You're never selling your UFOs to them. So you keep that secret and keep it on the side. Oh, but you can have these F-35s. They're the best we've got. Keep making money. Keep playing with UFOs. Yeah, and wars are as a sham. You're trumping them up with Iran right now and a bunch of stuff. But it's all sham, because you can just take one of these things, fly up into space, drop an asteroid in the country. Good game. It's over. This is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting implications here.
Yeah, it's insane. And so here we are. We are the fool shadow puppets in Plato's allegory of the cave. And yeah, this is unbelievable. I need some beer, Frank. You want to buy me like 30 seconds?
Let's open up a UFO sighting over Kansas City. This is pretty interesting. YouTube Amber White, UFO in the sky over Wichita, Kansas. Must watch. Let's pull this up. Let's take a palate cleanser from this intense information and watch a UFO in the sky.
Okay, one more time.
That looks like a Tic Tac.
Oh, I got it. I got you. Must watch. Okay.
Tic Tac, UFO in the sky. Let's see it.
All right. And so before I take off real quick and we play this, I'm going to make sure, if you guys want this document that was scrubbed from the internet minutes ago, I'm going to screenshot the shit out of this. I'm going to make tons of copies. I'm going to put it on the website. I'm going to put it in the Discord. If you have not joined the Discord, get your ass in the Discord. I'm going to put that stuff up there, and let's see, right? Let's see if they can scrub it from the entire internet. Let's see if this shows up in different places and it disappears and continues to disappear. So maybe we have problems with the Discord, right? Like maybe our paranoia of, hey, we're having tech issues. My volume sliders are randomly moving back and forth. Maybe that shit isn't paranoia. Yeah. Join the Discord. Troubleminds.org. Go there. I will put this shit up right after the show if you want to read it for your damn self. There we go. So spread it far and wide. This is crazy. This is Alex Jones' Breakaway Civilization, just like you said, Frank. Holy shit. Okay, we're going to play this video. And action.
You got planes, a bunch of them. It sounds like a helicopter as well, but what you're looking at is this cigar-shaped Tic Tac style object right in the middle of the sky. And you'll hear her say, what in the hell is that? Right? The people filming these things, it's important to hear their reaction as well, but this is pretty weird looking at this thing. What the hell is that?
What in the fuck?
She's surprised, as you can clearly tell. What in the fuck is that? This thing looks like that Tic Tac, doesn't it?
That is not a goddamn airplane. That's an airplane. What the fuck? Stop, Dozer. Stop it. Look, where did it go?
Kind of glowing too. We'll rewind it to that part, but you see that glowing plasma field around it, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of what he described. This is tic-tac shaped. It's got that plasma field. It's moving like an unconventional aircraft. I'm liking this video if you guys want to check it out.
It doesn't have any goddamn wings.
There it is. Okay, I'm going to mute this. So, yeah. I mean, these things are happening. This shit is out there. What the hell, Frank? Did we just stumble onto like the find of the century, like inadvertently? What the hell? You don't just.
I'm not sure. You know, maybe it's a misinformation opera. You put it up there, you tantalize the people, you take it down, and then taking it down legitimizes what he's saying. And that could be the case. You know, it's like a Barbara Streisand effect kind of thing. Delete the picture of her house so that people keep posting the picture of her house more and more and more. That could be it. That could be misinformation they've tried to legitimize. You got to think about these things. I could be lying to you right now. Everything I could be saying could be a lie. You never know. So think for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And we say that about us too. It's the true demagogue will tell you that they have the answers, right? Like that's the entire game. Is that you have a problem? Don't sweat it. I have the answers. Well, guess what? We have no freaking answers here. So if you come to us for answers, you're in the wrong place. But if you want to think about things on your own and maybe hear some other opinions, that's why we're here. That's why we do this. And I think probably like you said, this has happened once or twice before where we've put some dug up some information and then went to do the show and then it was taken off the internet during the show. All right, but I think this individual moment is probably, I would say, the most important thing we've ever actually done on this show. You agree, Frank?
It could be. There's a lot of stuff we've covered, but this is definitely interesting. I like that. Again, I think this is the big thing from that, is the time dilation field inside the craft and tying it to that crazy man's time dilation field detector. Because if you had a time dilation field in the UFO and the UFO flew over, the detector on the ground might pick that up. So in my mind, there's something interesting there. I got to look more into that. But that could be a way to like find these things by measuring differences in time, much like measuring differences in radar fields and all this kind of stuff. That could be something.
Yeah, it's certainly something. And again, I just can't like unwrap my mind from the fact that if this is the case, this is the actual case, and we have information being taken down that this breakaway civilization shit is something. That Alex Jones is like, he's not insane, right? Like, I never thought he was insane. I was never a huge fan, but holy shit. Like, we unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna be tripping on myself for the rest of this. But, I don't know. Do we go over this again? Do we highlight these? What do we do, Frank? I'm not sure what to do here, to be honest. I just think it's critically important that this information gets out. I think that's more important than any of the shit we're talking about. Is that they took this down for a reason. And let's look this guy up. Let's see what's up with this dude. Let's just stick with this and lean on this, because I think it's important to get as many facts and details about this particular thing as possible. What do you think? Does he have a Twitter? Let's find out right now.
I took a look. I couldn't find it. He's got a LinkedIn, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think we should just keep in mind the three things he mentioned: the time dilation field, the plasma field around the craft, and this Santa. What was it? What was that island area?
Santa Catalina. So that's off the southern coast of California. It's off the coast of Mexico directly, and so I think it's an actual sovereignty would be belonging to Mexico. So but it's in the Pacific, and it's one of the actual, oddly enough, probably as they said in the Unidentified episode 3, it's the best place in the world to find great white sharks. And so for some reason, and the individual, they contacted a marine biologist there, one of the tops in the field that spends most of his year in that spot. He seems to think that the great white sharks go there because they have some sort of magnetic homing device, and they find that anomaly off the island, that magnetic anomaly. So he's there studying the sharks. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that the goddamn aliens, they're using the sharks as guard dogs for their underwater alien base? Is that what you're telling me?
It sounds like it, right? It sounds like there may be something to that, because how the hell else would you get down there? You'd have to send like a little submarine, like a little drone or something. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Are we getting into like Austin Powers Sharks with Laser Beams territory? The laser beams. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, right? So the scientist, again, he does nothing but study great whites, and he has actually seen some weird things there, and he discussed it and they talked about it. But yeah, maybe, right? Maybe there's the magnetic anomaly is for that purpose. It's like so imagine if you rewind 500 years, we have no technology to get there whatsoever. If you put a diver in that water, you were done. Yeah, I don't know. I think you may have maybe something.
Alien shark guard dogs. I guess that's it.
Yeah, it must be. We're gonna roll with that. All right. So alien shark guard dogs in Santa Catalina Island. Okay, but
let's go back to this video we just saw. Yeah, this video we just saw. No visible flight surfaces, and you had that plasma shield. I thought that was pretty compelling. I don't know if you caught her reaction to it, but she's like, "That's not an airplane," and she was cursing up a storm there. That was pretty interesting, I thought. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I was getting a beer, so I'll go with your take on this one. I didn't see much of it. We can play it again if you like. If you think it's that important. Yeah.
No, I just thought it was great because it was kind of what we were just hearing, a tic-tac shaped object, no visible flight surfaces, very reflective. It seemed to be shiny in there. And that lady clearly said it wasn't a plane. She looked at it, so what the heck is that? It wasn't a plane. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, and it definitely was not. So you saw it. It looked like a tic-tac. So I linked the video if you guys want to check it out. Great comment here from Luxor Sun Dragon on Twitch. See, we're still running on Twitch. You guys hated Twitch. We're still on Twitch. So if you like Twitch, you can find us there. If you like YouTube, you can find us there. Facebook, you can find us there. All right, Luxor Sun Dragon on Twitch says, I think the basic idea of electrogravitics is that you create... Hold on. I have to bring the chat out because this is chopped off. All right. Okay, I think the basic... again, Luxor Sun Dragon on Twitch, thanks for the great comment. I think the basic idea of electrogravitics is that you can create such an intense magnetic field made from extremely high voltage that the craft and the area of the craft are moved through space in a way that it does not change its momentum, since the field that the craft is sitting in is moved instead of just moving the craft itself through a field. This is how the craft can make a 90-degree turns without stopping. This is how it would seem that there would be time dilation within the craft. There we go. Great comment. Thank you. Thank you again, Luxor Sun Dragon from Twitch there. Yeah, I mean, so it kind of opens up all kinds of different speculations here, right? I think you're spot on with that. Are you a physicist, by the way? Are you a government spy sent to keep an eye on us? Yeah. What do you think about that, Frank?
It could be. That's beyond me. I'm no physicist, unfortunately, but you never know. Like, think about I can't get that guy's answer out of my head. Think about it. What if we have humans on a different planet? There's a news article. I don't think we have time to get to it, but they said they found more exoplanets, more Earth-like planets that could support life. What if they're taking these things, putting people in there, shuttling them over to this new planet, and they're building up civilization there? We would never have any idea. They could never communicate back to us. But clearly they have this technology. Maybe they even have it at Area 51, as we saw in that clip earlier. So they could be doing all these things behind the scenes, and we would never have any idea. Why bother going to Mars? Why bother at all if we could just zip on over to a planet that's perfectly capable of supporting life already, that has an atmosphere, it has everything? So the implications of what that guy said, they're phenomenal.
Yeah, no, so think about it, right? So that means that your job is a sham. That means NASA is a sham. That means geopolitics is a sham. That means The world is a sham.
It's like that movie. What's that movie with Jim Carrey? Is that it? With where he lives in the dome? What was that movie?
Oh, The Truman Show.
Yeah, The Truman Show. So in case you've never seen it, I'm sure you all have, but he's like an unwitting actor, and everything around him is a set piece. All the people he interacts with, his wife, his girlfriend, the places they're all a set piece. And when he tries to book a ticket to leave to take a vacation, there's always complications that arise that kind of prevent him from doing that until he finally breaks out of the dome. But maybe that's what we're on, a dome, except the dome is the entire planet. And they're just out there doing whatever the hell we want. And whenever we want to leave the planet, well, there's always complications that prevent us from doing it. So that's an interesting way to look.
Yeah, and so, So are we going back to flat Earth now, or are we like we're talking about the firmament, and we're actually in some sort of maybe
no
religious
none of that,
simulation?
No, more like an information dome surrounding us. Oh, you can't go live on Mars. There's nothing there for you. Oh, you can't get past the Van Allen belts. You just can't do it. You want to launch a rocket to the moon? Well, we're taking away your funding. You know, all these things that get in the way of us breaking information dome surrounding us. When really there are people out there doing whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, well, exactly. And then so okay, now let's take this to the next level, right? All right. So we say, okay, so if this technology exists, and there's somebody that this astrophysicist, or sorry, he's not an astrophysicist. He's was he a physicist? Let's go back to this document real quick.
I think he's some kind of aeronautical engineer. You know, he's building flight surfaces and doing physics stuff and making the propulsion systems and making this thing invisible to radar. That kind of physicist.
Okay, so he's an actual physicist, though. This is and you would think, right? So Lockheed Martin is not going to hire like a substandard physicist. so you would expect this guy's probably top of his field. Otherwise, he would be. What would he be doing? he would be that guy that's trying to launch himself into space to prove the world is flat. That's what he would be doing, right? If he was not a top-notch physicist. But okay, so hold on. Let me pull this up again. And I'm freaked out, Frank. I'm usually pretty grounded, but this is freaking me out, man. Okay, so let's take it to the next level. I'll pull this up and you can check it out. Again, I'll screenshot all this and you will be on Discord. Please join the Discord. Get in here and tell us what you think. This is amazing. All right, now let's take this to the next level. Remember Randy Kramer? Remember him?
Yeah, he's the crackpot. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, Marines on Mars, right? Breakaway civilizations, right? Parallels here. This technology has been around since the 40s, known as Foo Fighters. Yeah,
let's take it to the real extreme. Maybe there are no. Okay, this goes back to what's that guy's name? The Behold the Pale Horse guy. The guy who thinks are fake. All abductions are fake. What's that guy's name? I can't remember.
Well, I can't remember either. I don't know. Too many names. You're going to find it.
I have a bookmark. I'll find it in a second.
Right, you'll find it. Yeah, okay. So,
Bill Cooper. Bill Cooper. Right?
Bill Cooper. Yeah.
He predicted 9/11. He said UFOs are fake. He said no abductions happen. So let's take it to the real extreme. There are no aliens. We are the aliens. But the aliens live outside the Truman Show dome that's surrounding the Earth. And they're us. They're the actors that are being paid for. And you look at it like that in context of this guy's answer. Oh, that's a creepy thing to think about.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this entire thing is, okay, so all of the conspiracy theory stuff that gets tossed around, right? The much maligned conspiracy theory is that breakaway civilization stuff, right? It's like, hey, there are reptilians here. They've been here for millions of years. There's a secret space program where we've been on the moon and Mars for decades. Who knows where else we've been if that's the case, right? If we've got craft that can dilate time and move outside of time, that means that the sky's the limit as far as how far we've actually gone in a human lifetime. So yeah, I mean, holy shit, man, this is freaking me out, Frank. Like I said, most times I'm steady enough to be like, okay, I can buy this, but I'm still grounded. I'm not so sure anymore.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll look into this guy. We'll see if he's been fired, see more about his history, see more of his comments on Quora, because he has an account there, unless it's been deleted. But we'll look into him. We'll bring it back in another show, because I got something for you now. Talking about underwater aliens, talking about things beneath the ocean. I got something, a little slip of the tongue that a National Geographic photographer made. Something that could be quite interesting. So I don't know if you see this. Open up the above top secret. That's a great website if you're not familiar with it. The users there, unlike Twitter, unlike Reddit, they actually go into detail about things. But let's open up this thread. National Geographic photographer claims he has seen alien beings underwater. And let's play that clip and see what he has to say about it.
All right, still looking here. So many links, Frank. You're the best. Okay, got it. All right, above top secret, National Geographic photographer claims he has seen alien beings in the ocean. All right, here we go. So play
that first clip embedded in there, and he'll say it right away.
Okay, and here we go. Action.
I think in the ocean I have come across potentially beings from another heavenly body that are more highly advanced than humans. My name is Lou Lamar. I'm an underwater director of photography for National Geographic and for Ocean X. I've seen giant deep sea arachnids, venomous sea snakes far offshore with like bright yellow heads, deep ocean volcanoes, technicolored deep ocean chemosynthetic worms, sharks in a frenzy, orcas swarming all around me, some sort of, hyper advanced aquatic alien creatures inhabiting the shallow waters, which almost look like stingrays. It's always the most beautiful place for me to be in, this three-dimensional void of space and quiet. Probably should be scared of, giant pissed off whales headed right my way with their jaws open. But for some reason, my heart rate just stays low and I just stay calm and keep cruising.
What the hell did he just say?
Yeah, so he drops it in the start, and then he doesn't really elaborate on it too much, but he said, I think, in the ocean, I have come across potentially beings from another heavenly body that are more highly advanced than humans. And it's interesting, you think about that. We know more about, they say here in the thread, we know more about the surface of the moon and Mars than we do about the deep sea floor. Because we've mapped the moon, we've mapped Mars, we have satellites up there, if you take the official narrative as true. And we know what's on the moon and we know what's on Mars, but deep in the oceans, by this Santa Catalina Island, we have no goddamn idea what's down there. And this guy, well, he says he's run into some advanced things down there that we have no idea about.
Yeah, and here we go. We're back to the sharks and laser beams, aren't we? Almost. Like it almost came back there. Holy shit. Holy shit. All right, we got some good comments here. All right, this is live, guys. So we got about 10 minutes left. If you want to get on the show and talk to us about this, Luxor Sundragon dropping amazing shit over there on Twitch. What do you think? Is this literally the breakaway civilization that Alex Jones is always talking about? Does this mean that the world we live in, the actual reality, while it may not be a simulation, is instead some sort of shadow puppetry, and everything that we're told and we believe is bullshit? Is this where we're at right now? I think, again, like I said, I'm not sure I ever actually 100% considered that's the case, Frank. Ever, right? Like, I was like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm a little rattled now. I don't know what to think about this. There's a lot here that's quite frankly creeping me out. You're probably a little more. You already knew, right? You already knew, right? Tell me. You already knew.
I got my dogs ready. I got my firearms ready. So, you can creep me out all you want, but come take my gold. No, pardon me. I didn't say that. You come take my property away. I'm ready.
There you go. Ready. So we have some minutes left, about 10 minutes left. So if you have thoughts on this and want to let us know, are we onto something, or do you think this is just more disinformation BS? Again, like I said, we've gone through a lot of information on this show. We've been doing this over a year. We started April of last year, and there's a lot. We've done the Randy Kramer and the secret space program, and there's actually oxygen on Mars, and like all kinds of stuff we've been through, right? And so some of it seems unbelievable, right? But then there's other things you run into that maybe aren't as easily written off, and I think we just bumped into one, and inadvertently even. And, like Frank, again, with the eagle eye, picking this amazing thing that just snap your finger, disappears from the internet. So, yeah, I don't know. I wonder, does that mean we're going to disappear from the internet, Frank? Are we too close to the fire here?
I don't know, but I think we've generated a few different research topics to move forward. One is time dilation, if there's been any reports of this anywhere else. Two is more about underwater aliens. Now, we did do a show on that in the past, but we'll have to look more into it. Three, I think we'll have to look into this Bill Cooper character and see what he has to say about these things, because, he seems to be on the money. I know it's claimed that he predicted 9/11. We'll have to look more into him. And, we'll have to look into all these things, because that little post, there's a lot of details in there that were quite troubling.
Exactly.
Worthy for our troubled minds.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. We got the next 8 minutes and ticking. If you guys want to call in, 702-957-1037. Go to troubleminds.org, click the Discord link. If you haven't joined the Discord, do yourself a favor and join the damn Discord right now. After the show, these documents will go up. They're no longer on the internet. They've been scrubbed. I've got them. I will screenshot them. I will put them in the Discord. Okay, there's the shameless plug. Now, we've got some good information here. You brought up Bill Cooper. Luxor Sundragon on Twitch. Again, more amazing information. Let's see, this was 30 minutes ago he was talking about Bill Cooper. So here we go. What's up, Frisky Panda over there? I see, okay. So, let's see, Luxor Sundragon says, this is a YouTube video of the book being read by Bill Cooper. So let me link this. I'll copy this. And we're going to put this in the chat, and we'll pull this up on the stream. Here's one for you, Frank. And then I'll read the comments that kind of follow here. Again, Luxor Sundragon, amazing, good shit. He's had some great calls. Again, smart people on the Discord. So join there and see what the hell's actually going on. All right, so linked. Let's see, we're in this, and how about we link it on the? What was I trying to find? So many windows, so many things. Where are we at? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to link it here so everybody can see. All right, bear with me, please. This is important. All right, there we go. So this is Bill Cooper, Luxor Sundragon from Twitch, talking about this 30 minutes ago, and ads. So he had the great comment about the basic idea of electrogravitics, and ads. And speaking of Bob Lazar, if you look at some of his drawings that he describes and the traditional shape of a saucer, there is a central axis where there is a counter-rotating shaft to create the stable torus field pattern that surrounds the ship. And then he continues. Bill Cooper, again, this was 30 minutes ago, or maybe not that long ago, but Bill Cooper says he saw a lot of government documents that says aliens are real. But since he never had any empirical evidence of them, he discounts them as might as well not existing. But I know there are speeches he's given where he says he just doesn't know either way because he bases all his research on hard evidence. And then continues, and Bill Cooper said he saw a giant flying craft come out of the ocean. But since he couldn't see who was flying it, he doesn't say it was aliens. That's good shit right there. Luxor Sundragon, you're the man. That's on Twitch. There you go. You guys hate Twitch? He found us on Twitch. And, okay, a couple more lines here, because he's still posting. He was an ex-naval intelligence analyst that was on the team that prepared reports for the president until he discovered, quote, the conspiracy. So there we go. There we are. I've linked the video that he linked, and he is on Discord, and I'm telling you, it feels like maybe a year into this, it feels like we're onto something. And not because of us, because of you guys. Because of all the amazing information you've kind of pointed out and some of the things we bumbled upon. It feels like we're onto something. What do you think, Frank?
It could be. We'll have to look more into it. Again, it's hard to do it on the fly, but there are some things said there that are pretty interesting. But again, you always have to take this stuff with a grain of salt. It could all be bullshit. A lot of this stuff is bullshit. I know you like To the Stars. I know you like Bob Lazar, but they're contrary to one another. So one of them is bullshit, one of them isn't. This guy at Lockheed Martin, it could be bullshit. It could all be bullshit. Everything we're saying could be bullshit. You never know. So you got to think about it. You got to put the pieces together. You got to investigate. And now I'm thinking about getting a submarine and going down for a little vacation there, because maybe that's where the answers are, is down by Mexico. Yeah.
Yes. And Fred noted it's not Santa Catalina. That's the area. It's Guadalupe Island. So that's the actual name, Guadalupe, if you're into Espanol. But yeah, so that's where the magnetic anomaly is, and all the sharks with the laser beams. So, yeah, like the alien watchdogs of the ocean. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on here. We stumbled on some amazing shit, and this is again, how many times, Frank? How many times? That's 2, 3, 4, maybe something like that. Like in a year plus, that things have been pulled up. We've talked about them. They've disappeared from the internet afterwards. So I'm not claiming we're responsible. I'm saying that that's how fast information disappears. And if it's on the internet and stays on the internet, back to my point I made earlier, it's there for a reason. And if it's gone for a reason. So yeah, holy shit, huh? Holy shit. Okay, so we're waiting for you. If you guys want to call us 702-957-1037, join the Discord. You can get on the show that way, and let us know what's up. Or, is this something? Am I making too much out of nothing? What do you think? Again, remember, back to the very first episode of this show. We apologize for the audio. But back to the very first episode. It doesn't matter what we think. It matters what you think. So call us and tell us. That's why we're here. That's why we do it live. That's why we have an open phone number. Why we have an open Discord. It's called transparency. And then the government should learn a little something about it. So, yeah, here we are. Here we are. Good stuff, Frank. Good stuff.
Speaking about Mexico, why don't we take a trip to Mexico? On land, though, it's this open up the express.co.uk, one of the best websites ever. UFOs seen visiting huge volcano, which is an alien base. Shock claim. They always put that shock claim at the end, don't they? So there are a ton of videos. I can't pronounce this. Can you pronounce this volcano?
Maybe.
Near Popocatépetl.
Maybe.
Popocatépetl.
You guys tell me
near
what
Mexico
it is
City.
Real quick. What's the link?
Express.co.uk. UFOs seen visiting huge volcano, which is an alien base.
Okay. Finding it. So many links. Frank is so thorough. Makes it hard on me, but I love it. All right, let's see. Yeah, there we go. UFOs. Okay, so let's. I'm gonna link this. Put it in the chat. I have it up. And what's the name of this island? Let's say this. Let's try and say
right
this.
beneath the video, you'll see eagle-eyed viewers spotted two objects hovering near this volcano near Mexico City, and you'll see them. We'll play the video in a sec. But can you pronounce that? I can't for the life of me.
I can try. Here we go. So, eagle-eyed viewers spotted two objects hovering near Popocatépetl, near Mexico City. Popocatépetl. I think that's how you say it. And here we go. Again, linked. You guys can check this out for yourself. And yeah, we'll watch this video in a sec. But yeah, all right. So we're back to Mexico, are we? We're back to Mexico. Here we come. All right. Which we kind of meandered in, ended up there anyway. So let's continue and finish in Mexico. We do have a caller on the line, so we'll take that shortly if you're listening. And yeah, hang tight. I'm trying to figure this out. Everything good? Yes, looks good. All right, let's just play the video. All right, and action. All right, so we have what appears to be, holy shit, like a tic-tac shaped object flying above this volcano. UFO flying over a volcano sparks conspiracy frenzy. There you go. And so there's a tic-tac shaped thing flying left to right, and there's a orb type object flying right to left, and they almost crisscross. And there you go. Again, holy shit, what's going on here? So there's the link if you guys want to check this out and look at the video yourself. And Mexico, right? There's something about Mexico going on.
Yeah, I guess we got to build that wall in a hurry.
Oh boy, we just did it. All right, let's go to the call. Frank. We're going to try this. We're going to toggle you on and see if you can actually hear the call now, and they can hear you. So I'm going to toggle this little button you hate. You might hear yourself some talkback, but let's try this. All right, what's up? This is Luxor Sundragon, right? From Twitch. How you doing tonight, man?
Good. I figured I was writing so much stuff in chat, I might as well just call in. Hey, Frank, can you hear me?
I can't hear anything.
I can't hear Frank if he's answering me right now.
Okay, so we got nothing. He can't. All right. You can't hear him, but the stream can hear you. So go right ahead, sir.
Okay, I know we only got a couple minutes left, but I just kind of like to every once in a while throw out some good, thought experiments and things to keep in mind whenever we're talking about these subjects. But I think, or one of the things I put in chat earlier was, I think it was like something like 6 times that Ronald Reagan said in his speeches, at the end of his speeches, that, if we were invaded by extraterrestrials from outer space, then imagine how quickly all of our differences would be forgotten and we'd come together as one world and unite. And then I think Gorbachev it was that said, yeah, I don't quite foresee it, but yeah, we would be completely willing to join forces with the United States to defeat some higher power. So another thought to keep in mind is that when a lot of these, like the Club of Rome type think tanks, like the biggest think tanks of the world and the most influential ones, they get together and they come up with like plan A, B, and C, and we are going to either create something like global warming or create a scare and tell people and convince people there's global warming. I mean, there's a lot of research to be done in that area, but they rein the world in that way and say, we're going to gain control of the world by saying, we got to do carbon taxes, we got to do this, we have to come together to save the rainforest, and we got to, all these different things. Come together to save the oceans and have the United Nations now to tell the whole world what to do because we're just not responsible enough. And then they have other, A, B, C agendas. And one of the things on the agenda is, what if we had all of these secret flying crafts that we controlled, and it's a secret technology because we can easily say, the government does have advanced technology that they don't just release publicly. I mean, I think there's some crazy number, like in the tens of millions of documents every year are classified. So if you look at the possibility of them having all of this technology developed and having a large number of them, or a big enough number to say, they flew down from the upper atmosphere all of a sudden over a major city. They create all this chaos, do some EMPs and then, laser beams, whatever we can throw in this hypothetical situation. And then once the players behind the scenes have, enough of the water rights around the world and enough of the land under their control and all the natural resources and things like that, then they can say, okay, now we really got to come together. We really need to change things up. And this is going to give us that final push to defeat this enemy from outer space that alone we wouldn't be able to defeat. So if you look at it, it's really all a big push towards one world government. And if you look at the end goal of it, I mean, what they say is it's going to be a world of kumbaya and holding hands type of thing. But then if you look at the road, the bloody road that they've paved to get there, it's kind of hard to see how that would actually become a reality, once they have the whole world together and under their control, I guess,
Yeah, so we're talking about like the Georgia Guidestones type of future, right? Where so many people, too many people live here, so we only need 600,000 or something like that, right? And this is just like you said. I think you said it well. That the road they've paved is with blood, and it's with our blood, right? One way or the other. There's no kumbaya here. There's no such thing as a utopian society. like Plato wrote about that in the Republic, and it is not a thing. It was a thought project for him, and it was obviously not a thing because every single thing you have to actually take one step to the next step to the next step is tyranny, right? It is not about individuals. It is about the state. It is about the sovereign, whatever they want it to be, whatever they want to call it, the party, if you want to go 1984. It's this is what it's about. It's about them, and it's not about us. And whoever them, and I think this is the scariest part, to me anyway. Who exactly is the them?
Yeah.
Who's them? Who's them? Right?
Well, if you read, there's a book that I posted in by Dr. John Coleman. He was another ex-intelligence analyst, and and then he became an intelligence analyst for the public, just to tell people what's going on in the world, because there's so many confused people, like I used to be, running around like, oh, why is life so hard? Why are things this way? Why do we have to work every day for this company and this? And pay bills that are jacked up through the roof, I guess, depending on where you live. But still, I mean, either way, that with like Agenda 21, you can't own your own property. Even if you buy it 100%, you're still paying taxes on it every year, and they'll take it away the year that you don't pay taxes. So I mean, there's a lot of things, a lot of interesting things. So if you look into that book or look into Dr. John Coleman, he's written a few things that. He'll say names right there in his books. He's like, hey, look at this guy. Why do you think that like when the president goes and swears in, he's standing in front of this person? Why is this the person that's swearing him in? So there's a lot of some different things he points out in his books and in his writings that are definitely worth looking at. I know it might be derailing a little bit from the alien agenda, but it seems the alien agenda is one arm of the octopus. And if you step back and you look at the big picture, the alien agenda is kind of more of a specialized area of research, whereas if you step back from that and you start looking at I guess you could call it the shadow government in general, you start to see a much bigger picture of how that's only one aspect of how the whole world's kind of being pushed in a certain direction. And then also, it's a great distraction for people that like distractions. I mean, some people like to watch football, play video games, drink beer, nothing wrong with doing these different things, but some people become fanatical about them. And just like you have, the super fanatical ET people where they're like, oh, their entire life is now dedicated to this and they can't stop thinking about it. And they just go with any crazy conspiracy that you throw at them, and they believe any video they watch, which is good. Like on the show, you're looking at it through an objective lens and saying, okay, what do we see? What could be real about it? What could be fake about it? So it's there's really quite a lot wrapped up into this agenda, Yeah,
it seems like. Can you do me a favor? I know you're on Discord with us, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you link that book that you said by I'm not sure the doctor you said. Can you please link that in Discord so we can all maybe follow up on this and maybe connect the dots? I think this is the important thing. Again, the entire reason we do this live is because of this, because we can't know everything, right? Like I think we stumbled onto something here tonight by accident, right? But that's like serendipity a little bit. But here we are instead talking about maybe it derailed this entire thing into different territory as far as I'm concerned. And so that information now becomes important to not just what we're talking about, what we've been talking about, but maybe what comes tomorrow and what comes the next day. So yeah, if you could drop that in the Discord, I would appreciate that a lot because I want to check it out myself. If anybody, again, like I said, it's shameless plug. Get your ass in there if you haven't joined the Discord. There's a lot of smart people, and you see this is the type of conversation that goes on. Anything else while we got you on, my man?
Well, I will just point out one more thing real quick. Another, I guess, thing to keep in mind is that whenever we're looking into these big, I guess, conspiracies, and some of it's conspiracy theory because you can't really find evidence for it, but you could find really strong correlation. But whenever you're looking into these really big things that are happening worldwide totally control the thought process of the people and point their attention basically in certain directions. It's made to, you know what, I lost my train of thought on that. It was kind of one of a higher thought, but
yeah, that's okay.
I think I've done so much talking that I'll write it in the Discord. That's what I'll do. Once I sit down and hang up, I'll be like, oh, okay, then.
Okay.
I'll remember exactly what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it. So.
Okay, yeah, no problem. We completely agree. All the things we say, all the hours on record, I guarantee you, probably if I could have 50% of it back to say it the right way, I'd do it. So okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a little bit of a higher thought. So I'll write it down. It'll be a little bit better, more eloquent.
Okay, and please link that document you have in the Discord. Again, I'd like to check it out. And there you go. We're gonna finish this up. Thank you. That's Luxor Sundragon from Twitch, and he found us on Twitch. So for you Twitch haters out there, there's smart people on Twitch. don't let the press fool you. Don't let the press fool you. Thank you, my man. We need a short name for you. Can we just call you Luxor?
Yeah, Luxor, something like that.
All right, Luxor. Thank you for the call, my man.
All right,
appreciate that. Thank
you.
All right, thanks for the call. There we go. I know Frank was probably listening to that on an archive on a live stream. Did you catch some of that, Frank?
Yeah, I heard it. Some very good commentary. Oh, I can hear myself. Can you turn that up?
Yeah, you got it. I turned it back on because I thought maybe you could hear him, and there you go. You're off again.
Perfect.
How's that?
Yeah, very good commentary. Good to think about. You never really know what's going on. However, I got to switch topics because I know we're running late. We got to do a little more investigation of this Reaz fellow because some things have just happened. I was doing some researching and things have just happened. So in the main folder there, why don't you open this archive link of his answer? Do you see that in there? Open up this archive link of his answer that was deleted.
Yeah, let's check this out. This is Reddit, is what I'm looking at? Which one?
No, the one at the very bottom, the archive.is link.
There you go. There it is, guys. Happening in real time. Frank Pierce on the freaking case. All right, let's take a look at this.
Here's his answer. I posted this in Discord if you want to see it, but do me a favor, click on his name. So you see his name, Ibteesam Reaz. So click on his name and see what happens. See what pops up.
Okay, so here we go. We're going straight to this. So this is in the same incognito tab that I tried to get his information on. So if you click on his name, what comes up? We get no, come on. Are you shitting me?
So he's changed his name and deleted all his answers. Do you see that? Because he had answered several things before, and now he's changed his name to Bob Bigelow and deleted all his answers. So what's going on here?
What the shit? Okay, so for those of you that do not know, Robert Bigelow, Bob Bigelow, is a what would you call him? He's a contractor that works for the government, has ties to Harry Reid. And some of this ATIP stuff that came out when Harry Reid dropped it initially before Tom DeLonge and Lou Elizondo, these contracts, these UFO research contracts were going to this Robert Bigelow, which is based in Las Vegas apparently. And a while back, this news article came out about alien alloys being in a warehouse in Las Vegas and linked to this one Robert Bigelow. Well, are you shitting me, Frank? What the hell is this now?
So again, he's deleted all his answers, all of them, not just the one we were talking about earlier. You can see, again, I posted the archive link of that answer in the Discord. You can go check that out. But he's deleted all his core answers, and he's changed his profile name to Bob Bigelow. So is he pointing fingers, pardon me, is he saying, well, someone was responsible for this, for the fact that I had to delete everything? Is that person Bob Bigelow? I don't know.
Or is he pointing the finger to Bob Bigelow? Yeah.
Could be. Now, because we're near the end, I posted this guy's LinkedIn profile. Do you see that in there? Open up his LinkedIn profile and tell me what that says.
All right. Here we go. Happening live as you see it. Again, guys, if you missed some of the details of the show and you're just kind of showing up, this is important. Like this is tip of the spear when you're trying to decipher the conspiracies, the disinformation, like what the hell is actually happening in the world today regarding UFOs, regarding shadow governments, regarding the cabal, regarding the what would you say, the Bilderbergs, whatever it is, right? Whatever you want to call it, the Illuminati. There's some shit happening right now, right here. If you missed it, go back, watch the archive. I'm telling you, if you focus, put on headphones, Some of this shit we talked about tonight will blow your freaking mind. All right, so LinkedIn profile. This is the individual that was supposedly, now we're going to go to supposedly because I don't even know if that's the case anymore, a physicist for Lockheed Martin. His LinkedIn profile is now deleted. Could not be found. Is that what I'm looking at, Frank?
Exactly. Yeah. So it was up because I checked out this guy a couple hours ago and I initially looked into this. So in the past couple of hours, he's deleted all his core answers. He's deleted his LinkedIn profile and he's scrubbing himself from the internet. So he must have stepped in something spicy. He must have said something he shouldn't have because he's feeling the heat right now if he's having to delete all this stuff.
Okay.
And pointing the finger at Bob Bigelow. That's real weird, isn't it?
That's real weird. Okay, now check this out. Now let's take this back into the real world again. And let's say that this individual is a real person. Let's just say that. I don't know that for a fact. And let's say that he put this up and he got a lot of attention. Of course, it wasn't like viral internet attention, like social media attention, because, well, it doesn't happen like that. That only happens if you're like Kim Kardashian or you're government sanctioned and backed, right? But imagine he puts this post up. It was up for what, 24 hours, Frank? Less than that? About that, yeah. Yeah, about that. His phone starts ringing. He starts getting emails from people he doesn't know, right? So I don't know. This is all speculation, but imagine, back to the real world, if you're the actual real individual here, and, you know, when your social media blows up, right, who knows what was happening? Like, maybe he had people knocking on his freaking door. Who knows? That's, again, assuming the man's real. I have no freaking idea, right? But there's something going on here. So what we'll do for the next show, we're going to check out the web archive for this, his LinkedIn profile, and hopefully there's something there. And maybe see if we can pull some of see if this guy's real or not, because this guy might be completely fake, right? This dude may not even freaking exist, right? So let's we'll look into this a little bit more. But holy shit, like, what is this, Frank? What I don't know. Again, I didn't know what to think previously, and now I'm even more confused.
Yeah, this is a strange time to be alive because he had a bunch of answers on that Quora website, like I think 50 or so, like a ton of them. So we'll have to go through. We'll have to see. It could be, I'm Googling his name right now, looking for like LockheedMartin.com and seeing if he's listed there. I haven't found that, but we'll look into it. Real weird, though, that his LinkedIn profile, which is like the online resume, essentially that's what that is, it's gone. It's scrubbed. So I don't know what's going on here. Something very suspicious, but we will look into it.
We will look into it. So again, tip of the spear here, not by any super detective sleuthing here. I think we stumbled into this one, and Frank pulled it up, and it disappeared. So I wonder, Frank, are they monitoring you in your research? Are they like, Frank is onto us? Quick, scrub the internet.
I doubt it. This kind of went all over the internet. I think he's attracted with that answer. I think he's attracted too much attention. Attention that Lockheed Martin, attention that a government contractor should not be attracting. So
yeah,
he said something. One of those four things he said, the time dilation, the plasma field, the underwater business, and the other thing, I forget, the fact that we're selling F-35s, and really, that's not the most advanced thing we have. Something he said in there has caused someone some problems.
Exactly right. Okay, so we're gonna take this call real quick, and then we're gonna end the show. But we will look into this guy. So we have this guy's name. If you're into this, maybe stay tuned for Sunday. We'll be back Sunday night. But let's take this call real quick. You're at the end, so we're gonna squeeze you in. This is Lemon from Oklahoma. You are on Troubled Minds with Frank and Mike. What's on your mind, my man? Let's make this fast.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I was just gonna suggest for the next show, or another show, whenever. Just let me know when you're gonna do it. But I was wondering if you could like search or get some info about the where our human, like, because like I've been reading some shit that you could like plug. We're eventually gonna plug in our like mind into like a robotic mind, you know, and like sorry, I had this all in my head and now I'm just trying to rush it.
I got you, man. I got you. So you're talking about I got you. You're talking about transhumanism. You're talking about the actual okay. Yeah. We haven't done an actual show on that, and we should. That's one that's on the list for sure. we will do that. I don't know if it's going to be Sunday because we've got some hot shit right now in our lab. So we'll probably hit the hot shit on Sunday, and then stay tuned because we will do transhumanism because it is important, and I think it's something we should talk about. So we've kind of touched on some of those topics in the past, but we will get there. We will get there. We appreciate the appreciate you listening, appreciate the call, and appreciate the suggestion. So thank you, my man. Lemon from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Thanks, my man. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, so there you go. Transhumanism is on the list, and it should have been all along. So thank you, Lemon from Oklahoma. But all right, let's end this, Frank. I'm going to cue the outro music, and you do your thing. You tell us what we're actually looking at here. What kind of shit did we step into by accident?
Yeah, I think a puzzle is a good analogy, and it's not just one puzzle. You've gone to the store, you've purchased 10 of those 1,000-piece puzzles, you've mixed them all into a giant bucket. Now you're trying to put the pieces together. And you're putting them together, and it's working kind of well, but then people keep adding more puzzle pieces, and who the hell really knows what's going on? All we can do is look at the information, try to figure it out, try to take your comments into suggestions and your great information out there, and we hope you keep joining us. We're going to keep trying to put this puzzle piece together, even if it's a futile task, because it's fun, it's exciting, it's interesting, and please do join us, please do contribute. We appreciate it quite a bit.
There you go. So, thanks for sticking with us. We know it's a long show, and sometimes, right? Don't bore me with the facts," said Dale. Good night, Dale. But it turns into one of those types of situations, right? This is the epitome of start somewhere and get into the weeds somewhere else, and it happened right here live. You were literally listening to this happen live as we stumbled upon all this stuff. So yeah. Keep the information coming because the only way we get smarter together is by sharing the information together. So there it is. If you have not joined the Discord, you're the redheaded stepchild. Get your ass on Discord. Troubledminds.org. Top right, click the Discord. It's a chat client. You don't have to talk to anybody if you don't want. You can type. You can use an alias. Good information goes on there. So there we go. There we go. Stay tuned for Sunday because Sunday's going to be exciting. We got some shit to look into now. And as for everything else, you're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here with your co-host, the magnificent Frank Pierce. Thank you for listening. And from our troubled minds to yours, have a great night.